Hello everyone and welcome back to our Game of Thrones campaign, Song of Ice and Fire. After the fire, we are currently yawning. I've just sent one round. It's going to be a great evening. I have no notes. There are no notes. Sexy lords ? Yeah, I've not been too well this week. We weren't playing Hexcrawl yesterday, but I'm feeling a little bit more energized, which means that at least these people can carry me through another episode, which is what I'm looking for, chums. I hope you're all aware. I'm just going to be asking you what you want to do for, a couple of hours, basically. And then the shenanigans can ensue. Speaking of shenanigans, let's see who's with us this week. Have a little chat to them, see what they've been up to before we all start and kick off and do the Westerosy things. Susanna Grace. You look prepared. How are you?
I'm prepared.
Cool.
No, I'm good. I'm in the tired boat this week. I've been doing a lot of painting actually, and I forgot how tiring it was because during the day I'm working on something which I unfortunately cannot show you all, but is very, very cool and cannot wait to hopefully future show you. But my days go morning, wake up, breakfast, boot up Photoshop, stream, relax, boot up Photoshop to chill. So I'm painting in evenings, staring at a screen all day. So I'm a bit like bleh, but I'm good.
Painting
I'm very
a certain young lady.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy with how it's going.
It's looking sweet.
I'm super into it. I'm learning a ton of new stuff and also just like getting to paint a ton of fabric, which is my favorite thing to do.
Nice.
So you note that like she's got these like extras fuck folds going on, and instead of a second pauldron, there's just like silk because I can, and it's fun, and it looks great. So I'm pumped.
Nice one. Awesome.
Yeah, that's me basically.
Sweet. And Millie, you're up next. You all right?
Oh, hi. Yeah,
Cool.
I'm fine. I've had a bit of a week so far, and I found out today that my house is just trying to eat my entire bank account. So that's cool. It's always fun when things are going to flood soon. Yeah, very much looking forward to this, especially after all the shenanigans last week. I really, really, really want to see what Miria and Enzo are up to. So I'm excited to have more stuff, hopefully with V, but I really just want to see what those two are up to.
Well, I have to admit, we had a secret session on Saturday. And no word of a lie, every single person jumped in at some point for most of the time just to hang out
really
and have a little secret session. We rolled some dice, we worked out some downtimey type stuff. But yeah, that moved things along a little bit, which means we could catch up with Miria and Enzo, which is all going to be a fun time. So yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we are going to drop straight back into the Tarly camp, though, to start off with. So I'm looking forward to see how you guys connect and what you're going to be up to as well.
Yes, connecting. That's
clueless.
what we'll be doing. Connecting. Best friends.
I'm going to sit
Best
here
friends forever.
with my metaphorical popcorn and relax and see what you want to do.
Samuel Tarly.
Don't blame Samuel. Come on now.
Why? Blame him for everything.
It is kind of his fault, but
that we have to hang out. Yeah.
If only he got to that rope quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Mara is back with us this week, and V, so are you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I have been in work crunch mode for the last week, mostly thanks to InDesign deciding that no, it doesn't want to do what it's entirely designed to do, but that's fine. It's all projects I can't talk about, which is a shame. I think the only one I can talk about that's been announced is I'm writing an adventure for Leyline Press for their upcoming
Very nice.
Kickstarter. So that'll be fun. But it's the only one I can talk about.
Yeah, fair enough.
NDAs are fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I mean, Sam, don't tell me that too much. I'm under NDA with you.
I barely know what's going on anymore. It's all James.
I feel like that's just, you can just stop at that bit. I barely know what's going on anymore, just broadly applies.
Yep.
I'm sure everyone here.
The mood.
I knew what was going on last week because I'd planned it all. I'd had time to myself to sit and to write a little bit on my phone and stuff. This week, not so much. So, been hid under blankets.
It's that kind
and stuff,
of week.
Yeah,
it's that kind of week, right?
Yeah, totally.
No, I'm excited. Millie and I have been screaming at each other since last week in Discord DMs about what's about to happen.
Good. You've been planning. This is what I. This is good.
Yeah,
this is
we've
what
been
I like.
planning.
When you
Good.
say planning, more just
It's-
like
Millie and I spiderweb think. We're like, what if this happens, but also this? Like, we do a whole like Doctor Strange and like look at all of the possibilities.
this week wasn't so much possibilities. It was more just like, no, she wouldn't do that. No. Oh God. Oh no. Is that the only option? Fuck.
The both of us coming to this realization going, oh God, why do we do this to ourselves? But also I can't wait to see what happens with Miria and Enzo, because obviously I was in the secret session and know what's happened a little bit. And I'm excited to see that. So Sam, you'll have to pass the popcorn when that comes back around.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll need to actually wake up and get on with into that scene. And Tom,
Hi.
how you doing?
I'm okay. Unlike everyone else, I can talk about what I've been doing this week, and it's just work.
What have you been doing this week?
I've been doing garden stuff.
Sure.
Digging, today, I can tell you what I did today.
Being Randall?
No, I didn't actually. It's been a good dry week.
Oh, good.
I removed a load of ivy from a wall. So getting it on the tripod ladder and you get up and then
Oh, that sounds satisfying.
and then it is when you get like a really long piece that just goes like that.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
quite
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
The problem was we had to go into someone's back garden because we got houses on the back. So we had to angle these massive tripod ladders to make sure we don't hit anything. And then we dump it all in their garden, and then we have to pick it all back up and take it over for ours for burning and stuff.
Mm.
So I did that. And yeah, just some weeding and stuff. It's been an all right week, actually. It's been dry. It's been quite nice, not too bad. Like I said, I'm quite happy. I can talk about it.
Do you just cane the podcasts or something? Do you listen to stuff?
I listen to audiobooks non-stop. I've gone through the Horus Heresy. I'm on book 40, and I only did it
They've
about
made
a
40
year
books
ago.
of that.
Oh, there's about 50, and then there's the Siege of Terror, which is about an extra 4 or 5. I've gone through, dude, the amount of books I've gone through is ridiculous. All the Game of Thrones, all Maisie Eisenhorn and Fyre's Kane, I'm going through Wheel of Time. I'm on book 4 or 5, one of them, because I got in the mood because, the series starts tomorrow, TV series. So I got into the mood of that. Dude, I've got so much stuff, and it is literally, I come to work, I go, right, this is what you got to do. Great. In the ears, audiobook going.
I bet, yeah.
It's great. It's friggin' awesome,
So I've never got into it, even at the times in work where I have time kind of to myself, work on stuff. I just put music on. I've always been that way. I've never gone through all the audiobooks or anything.
It just varies. It's just that I'm not one of those people that can really have attention. I do have an attention span, but I'm not one to get a book and just sit down quietly read for a few hours. That's not kind of what I do. So I just figure I much prefer an audiobook and just throughout the day as it's kind of passively going through as I'm doing it. It's great, and for some reason it sticks. And long car journeys, I love listening to audiobooks on long car journeys. I'm currently listening to Fire and Blood again, which is such a good book. But it's make or break with the reader. Whether it's going to be good or not. If it's a crap reader, then kind of screws the entire story. Yeah.
And that's why you should never use AIs for any of your voiceover needs.
Yes, there you go.
Beautifully put.
Well, that went on longer than I thought. Yes. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey. That's it. That's it for me.
Be a good chat show host, wouldn't I? Guess to foul people.
You would. Well done.
I still want to do a quiz with you lot. Stream a quiz.
We can do that.
I've been watching.
Notice how Susie's the only one nodding. Just I can do a quiz, and the rest of us
Yeah, as long as you don't expect any right answers.
No, hang on a second, right? So this thing started up on Dave recently in the UK called Quiz Time. Question Time.
Yeah.
No, Question Team. That's what it is. It's a play on Question Time, right? And basically each so there's it's a comedy vehicle, comedian vehicle panel show type thing, but they have they have 3 guests and Richard Ayoade, and the 4 of them each make a round of their own device.
Oh, nice.
And then there's 5 points up for grabs for each person whose round it's not, right? So we could do like that. Each make a round.
Down.
And they've done everything from like driven round a racetrack and there are observation questions. You know, it's like what was written on the box of the 3rd lap or whatever, right?
Oh God.
To some really crazy stuff. So if anyone knows Rosie Jones, the comedian, she put together a round where they basically had to do a fake news channel reporty type thing, and she made them say the most ridiculous awful, offensive stuff, but also there were questions in there, so they had like an auto cue, but there were blanks, and if they got the blank right, they got a point. So like, you know, where I'm here in the, you know, capital of Russia, which is, and they said Moscow, there's like a ding, and off they went. So it's really clever. So I think we could do something like that.
I'm not clever enough for that, I can tell you.
Or we could just
I'd
play
panic.
Jackbox.
Ooh.
Yeah, we can be trusted with Quiplash. My birthday has, for the last 2 years, has definitely proved that what folks should see is what happens when we play Quiplash.
Yeah, we could do that.
In all fairness, with Quiplash, we did get one of the best T-shirts ever.
Got 2 of the best T-shirts ever.
Oh, yeah.
Got some good T-shirts.
You thirsty bitch.
Yeah, you thirsty bitch.
I fucking love that T-shirt.
So good. So good.
Oh my god! All right, so we'll do something when this is all over.
Yeah.
But it's not. So we should start a session. Do you know what? I'm not even in the Roll20. You told me, Tom, and I didn't even start it.
I got a chewing out for it. I said, Sam, you're not in the Roll20.
Because I was
You're
doing the
like, "All right,
cameras.
I'm doing the cameras.
V wasn't here by 7, so I was a little bit. You know, I had to do the videos and stuff. It's not on you, V. Don't worry, I'm not blaming
Tom should
you.
get a bonus dice.
Thank you, V.
Yeah.
Very
I think
kind.
Tom can suck it. What I will say is, ladies and gentlemen, is
I
that
tried, Tom.
I can't see how many people are watching around at 16. So, lovely people, lovely audience members. We absolutely love you being here. We absolutely love you, you know, getting the bonus dice to people and subscribing and stuff like that. We are just 10 away from our next sub goal, and that means that we could get another emoji. So I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to do any of that, you know, YouTuber Twitch nonsense. But if we could get there, we could get another Juicy Fruits emoji. We've been talking about apples, maybe.
Green flames.
Green flames. That could be fun too. Something like that. Give us a sub if you like, and each sub means that you get a bonus dice for one of these lovely people. Please tell us in chat who you want that to be. Stamper, you gave a sub, so let us know who you want the bonus dice to go to. I'm full at the moment.
He's put it in there. It's for Tom.
Oh, lush. Thank you very much, friend. We're on the play screen. Hang on.
Oh, so Tom can't suck it. That's great.
So
I'd be so lucky.
You were mean to him and he got a dice.
Totem, thank you so much. Let us know who you want the bonus dice to go to. We'll get a little trailer of these going now. Good vamping. Okay, right. I'm going to turn the music on and then we're going to start. And I will keep up because I'll go straight to somebody and I'll ask them what they're doing. All right, suspenso. Here we go. So let us start our season 6, episode 6. No song so sweet. Mara.
Hi.
Where are you during the battle? What are you up to?
I like to think that Mara was probably up to see Samuel off. She wouldn't have slept in and just let him go off to battle without saying anything. I like to think that she's probably put her armor on that she had back at the wedding feast, and she's probably waiting somewhere with a good vantage point because there's not much to watch because most of the battle is probably going to take place inside, but wherever the camp has been placed, kind of where that lookout was, and I imagine that's the same place that all of Caswell's men were kind of stationed up because they were kept back to protect the camp from potential counterattacks and stuff. So she'd be hanging around there, keeping in with her habit of, especially now, staying around the soldiers, not really any of the courtly stuff. That's where she is.
Cool. Okay.
Watching things from afar.
And from afar, you can see as the catapults and the scorpions throw fire, pitch, tar, catapult shots, these huge round rocks at the gates of Summerhall and its grounds, and they smash through really easily. It's a weak wall, and some of it even is wrought iron, so it's not actually a defensible ready position. So they smash through that, and slowly but surely these soldiers march at the van first, and then the columns of troops move up, archers moving into position, firing upon Summerhall. And then as they crash through the main door, soldiers, and including, you can see kind of cavalry, including Samwell, like rush through into the hall itself through that main door. And then after a time, after a tense, feels like eons, you see a great green flash of light as the roof caves in and this mushroom cloud of smoke and orange flame rises from Summerhall. And then a second later, you get that delayed sound, that whoosh explosion kind of, blast over you, and the wind catches your hair, catches you slightly off guard. And Summerhall has gone up in green flames. What do you do?
I think Mara for a second just stands there and watches it. And I imagine that many of the men around her are doing the same thing. It's that kind of moment, even before like the shockwave hits, of just like, what the fuck? Just watching it happen. And I assume that Mara would recognize what this is. Her brother's a maester, for one. And, Simon had a long history of just sending her random things that he discovered at the Citadel when she was, younger. And I think she's just like, in a trance for a second, I imagine, until somebody, probably Hunter, because I imagine Samuel hasn't left her without guards or people around anyway. Somebody probably asks her something and she has no idea what it is. But before she can even think, she's turning, if Hunter is there with her.
Yeah.
She'd just turn to him, and it doesn't matter what he's doing, whether he's looking in shock, whether he's watching her, she just looks at him and says, "Get me a horse."
Okay. A lot of the horses are in use. He rushes off. And if you were to look round to follow kind of where he's gone, that you would see that one of the hospitality tents, the main hospitality tent, has gone up in flames too, just seemingly randomly. You're not sure if this is connected or something has gone wrong back there, but you can see the smoke billowing out from the back of it. So he's rushing up kind of towards that way in order to try and find one of the kind of messenger horses or something that might be free.
Tell him she doesn't care where he gets it from, who he takes it from, but to find her a horse. And I imagine she knows that Caswell is around here because his men are here. And he got sent, like the fire started early in the battle and he got sent back by Samwell, right, to go and sort it out. And that's the next thing she's doing. Like, she's just in autopilot mode. And she's trying to take these deep breaths in her armor and just like trying not to let this panic overwhelm her. And she's just shouting for Caswell, just towards the hospitality tent in that direction, just shouting until somebody tells her where he is, until he appears.
Do you want him to come to you? Like, how far away are you from the hospitality tent, or are you heading up in that direction as well?
She'll kind of start heading in that direction. But her main goal is just to keep shouting his name until someone goes and gets him, until he hears her and comes up to him herself. That's just, she's not even really thinking about necessarily finding him, but there's enough of his men around here that if she shouts, somebody will probably go and get him, because Samwell's not here, and therefore she's kind of semi in charge because some of their forces are still here.
Yeah, okay. Roll me...
But she's just screaming it at the top of her voice.
Yeah. Roll me a status reputation check. So this is like, do you know who I am kind of territory.
Oh, I don't have the other window open, so I can't see what I rolled.
9. Have you got
9.
any benefits or drawbacks that would affect that?
I think they're all factored in because she lost some of her status like 2 seasons ago. But let me have a look.
Mm-hmm.
She's charismatic, but that only affects convince tests.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, cool. 9's good anyway. And after a few moments, Lord Caswell approaches, looking a little dishevelled, and he's like pulling at his neck like he's been around, too much heat, and you can see that he's got a little bit of like, almost sunburn from being too close to the fire. And he kind of marches up to you in his half plate, clutching at his padding underneath his armor, and asks you, "What is it, my lady?"
And she just looks horrified. Like she can't get rid of that look on her face. And she can't even explain to him what's happening. She's shaking and gripping at Samuel's rapier that she wears at her side and just says, "Get your men together now."
My lady, what? And he's kind of
Summer
indicating
Hall has
that.
just gone up in flames, and she just points behind her at like the green fire spewing out of the top.
That's the first moment where he actually clocks what's happening, and you see his face drop before he just says, "Fuck." And then he grabs one of his own soldiers, commands him to get the rest of the men. Fuck the tent. They're off down the hill.
Yeah, that's basically what she says.
Oh.
She looks at him as soon as he stops speaking. She's like, "We're riding out there. Every man who made it out is getting back here, and we're going to cut down every last Targaryen rat that runs from that place."
And he gets on his horse.
He doesn't have his horse.
Is it Caswell's horse, or is it a different horse?
It was Caswell's war horse that Sir Dennis stole last session.
He looks around for his horse, and he's fucked off that he can't get one, so he takes like someone else's, and they begin to ride down the hill at a gallop through the camp, as more of your support unit, so your kind of camp followers, free folk, small folk, that kind of thing, who are kind of along for the ride, who can provide medical attention or who can provide cooking and all those kind of sundries.
Yeah. I think Mara's request to be very clear. It's not like, let's go into Summer Hall. It's whoever made it out, drag them back here, put them on the back of a horse, grab whoever you can, and very specifically find Samuel.
Yeah.
But she won't be able to ride. She plans to ride out with them, but can't until Hunter returns with a horse for her.
Okay. Now, Faye, as soon as that went up, left fairly quickly from her little rendezvous. So, what are you up to, and where are you heading within the camp?
I think she's still quite shell-shocked by what happened, and everything seems to be moving slowly for her. But I think the sound of Mara shouting would be enough to kind of snap that awareness of sound back into real time. And she'll just start walking towards where the voice is coming from as fast as she can.
I don't think you'd be able to miss it. Mara isn't just shouting, she's screaming at the top of her lungs in the same way that, any of these soldiers would be screaming orders. Like that, as she's looking for Caswell anyway, that's where she's at.
I like the image of as you're heading up the hill towards the hospitality tent, and where Mara is, just after she's had her exchange with Caswell, that they cross you, the horses gallop in front of you, and you just wait there for a second before you can move ahead towards Mara. You're still looking for a weapon?
I'll be keeping an eye out if I can see a bow and quiver anywhere.
I will let you spend a destiny point in order to find a weapon, because that is literally one of the spends, is create change the scene up to give you like a little clue or a thing, something like that. Spend not burn, so you don't have to get rid of it entirely.
You'll have to remind me, because I've never used destiny points in this game. How'd you get them back?
So the way that I do it, in terms of my house rule at least, and the way that I've done it in the campaign, is that if you complete a short-term goal, like influence somebody, or perhaps, or find out something, or
Gotcha.
one of those steps to world domination, right? If you complete one of those short-term goals, then you get it back. If you burn it,
Okay.
you lose it forever. But if you just spend it, then you'll get
Okay.
it back once you complete a minor objective. So if a minor objective were to be find Samwell or convince Mara to leave or whatever that might be, if you complete that, then we'll give it back to you.
I hate you, Samuel Tarley, for giving me this task and making me do this. She's going to have to. So, yeah,
Okay.
I'll spend it.
Yeah, if you spend a destiny point, then you, on the way past, see that there are basically buckets, barrels that have got an open lid, and they've got bows, and they've got plenty of arrows there as well.
Yeah.
This is one of the supply tents for
Yeah,
the
this will
archers.
it'll be the kind of bows rather than like a long bow.
Could be just like a hunting bow.
A little shorter, yeah.
Yeah. So this is in fact one of the support units, like hunting bows. This is probably from one of the kind of outlier kind of hospitality tents, or like, or maybe even someone's literally you're just robbing someone's hunting gear.
Yeah. Yeah. She doesn't care at the moment. People don't really exist. So she'll sling the quiver over her shoulder and sling the bow over and carry straight on. It's all hazy. All she's focusing on is Mara's voice.
I imagine Mara is like slowly making her way back down to where some of these men were camped, and she's still screaming. Anyone who doesn't already know that Caswell's men are riding out, like if there are still people sitting around kind of shocked, she's shouting at them, relaying where they should be going. She's calling small folk and healers to move up, ready for, when they start coming back with people. And she's probably digging around, just what's out here, probably looking for a helm or something, knowing that she has to ride out. There could be archers. A helm isn't part of anything that she wears, but that's probably where Faye finds her, is somewhere between shouting orders at people and like looking for something while she waits for Hunter to arrive with a horse.
I'll let you spend a destiny point to grab a. Well, I mean, helmet isn't really a thing that's factored into the armor stuff.
I mean, it's more just like that's kind of what she's doing. She's picking through. I don't necessarily need to find one. I don't actually think I have a destiny point right now to spend. Okay. But that's what she's doing. She's between kind of like getting people to go and rally people to where they should be while she waits for Hunter. She's picking through this to see if there's anything useful that she finds to take with her. Because she has Samuel's rapier, but it's more like something to keep her busy so she's not just standing there.
Okay. So Faye, this is how you find Mara. This is how you find her as you actually approach.
She'd walk straight up and grab Mara's arm and spin around to face her.
And Mara is like quick to turn. As soon as you touch her, she's like almost breaks away and kind of steps back.
You're all right.
I'm riding out.
Hells you are.
Caswell's men are already starting to rally. They're riding out. They're going to find anyone who made
That's
it out
what
of
they're
there and bring them
for.
back. Yes, and Samwell is out there, so I am riding out, and I'm not coming back until I find him.
You need to stay here. What good can you do out there? Don't be a fool.
What good can I do staying here?
You can be alive.
I'm
Do
sorry.
you think that's the only trick that a Targaryen will have up his sleeve?
Frankly, I don't care. But my husband is out there somewhere, probably on that field, and I'm going to go and find him.
She'll look around at the men
and
doing her bidding.
She starts screaming for Hunter again.
All that's here around the tent are the small folk camp followers that have been traveling with you, have been providing food and been setting up the tents, and have been, are here for healing as well. So a few of them are rushing down towards the the battle, the aftermath of that, and a few of them are still up here trying to put out the last flames of the fire. But there are no Caswell men here. They have all
They've all
ridden.
gone off to find.
Yeah, they all rushed out. If they can't ride, they run.
He made me promise to keep you safe. If I don't keep you here, I can't keep you safe.
He shouldn't have asked you that, Faye.
No, he shouldn't have, but he's him, so let them do what they do, please.
I can't sit here waiting.
Why?
I did enough sitting and waiting the first time around. And do you know what that got me? 2
Alive.
dead brothers.
And you still alive. Do you care so little that you would let... And she'll look up at the palace, like not really able to form the words. If the worst has happened, you are the last of the direct line. You have to stay here.
I can't. Faye, you can see like she's trying to say so many things at once. She can't even get the words out. And even while she's doing this, she's checking the buckles on her armor as if it's like she's going into an autopilot that she's not very used to. I can't leave him, Faye. If he's dead on that field, I still have to go and find him.
If he's dead on that field, they will bring him back.
I made a promise. I made a promise that I would keep him safe. And I don't mean the vows that I made on my wedding day, Faye. When I was in that godswood, dying, I begged the gods, I begged them to let me come back to keep him safe. So if I sit here now when he needs me, I have betrayed the one promise that I swore I would keep.
If you swore to the gods to keep him safe, why is he here?
Because I can't stop him going to war. You wouldn't be able to stop him if you were standing in my shoes either. But I can't sit here and wait to see if he comes back or if they bring me my husband's body. He is the last thing I have, Faye, the very last. I don't have family. I don't have friends. I have him.
You can see her
if I
fists
ride
clench
out there and I take a Targaryen arrow in the back, then so be it. I don't care. As long as he gets back here safe. And if he's dead, then that is the best place for me. I'm sorry that he made you promise to look out for me, and he shouldn't have done.
There's a lots of things he shouldn't have done. But this is hardly a time for a debate. Where are you going?
I'm waiting for somebody to bring me a horse, and she screams for Hunter again, like impatient and angry. That's really covering up the fact that she's terrified.
And then finally, Hunter is walking, pulling along a horse. He's kind of half jogging. So,
and she will move up to kind of meet him if Faye follows as she's talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna ride. The Caswell's men will have cleared any of the Targaryens fleeing from that place. I just want to ride around the grounds, see who I can see if I can find him. He can't be dead, Faye. He can't.
We both saw the same thing. I think we're very aware that he can.
He can't be. And you can see it in her face that she can't believe that he's dead. Like, it's that look of like complete disillusion, like that disconnect from reality there as she says it. What does it matter to you if I ride out and something happens to me? Let's be honest, you don't like me, Faye. I took you hostage. I married the man that you'd been betrothed to since you were a child. I'm standing in your shoes.
Some of us take our vows seriously.
You think I don't?
Well, let's not wait any longer.
What are you talking about? You're not. No, you're staying here.
Not the place for a debate. As previously stated, do we have a horse?
But yeah, Hunter is right there. It just says, "Oh, my lady."
And she'll do like an overly elaborate, like, after you.
And Mara just looks at him and goes, another one. Get another horse.
You see a little flicker in his eyes of like, oh my god.
No.
And he like rushes off.
Yeah.
He's handed the
Mara feels
reins to
a little
Faye
bit
and he's rushed off to try and find another one.
No, fuck that. She's not going to wait. The
That's
second
fair.
you get up on that, she's vaulting up behind you.
If anything happens to you, he'll never forgive me. You know that, right?
Welcome to my life.
Do you know how to use that bow?
After a fashion.
Good. And Mara will just kick the horse in and ride out. And her aim is she doesn't want to ride anywhere that Caswell's men haven't already started to cover.
Mm-hmm.
She's not quite that stupid, and she's coming up behind them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But her plan is basically to ride around as much of this field as possible, mostly looking out for Samwell. But if she spots somebody who's clearly alive and injured, doing what she can to call people to them and get people to them. But Samwell is what she's looking for as her first priority.
Cool.
And she'll probably also apologize to Faye for her terrible horse riding. So like Mara's not being delicate about this. She's just...
No, it's a rough journey, but you gallop down the hill after the rest of the soldiers of Caswell's men that have gone down to look for survivors. But first, we're going to go to Miria. Miria, you are led through the Karen camp to the north of Fox Hollow. There are behind you the mountains, the Red Mountains that you call home, and a wind is blowing a gust up against them from the northwest. You and Harris, in some chains, de-armored and unarmed, you are marched up through various yellow and black tents. They're patterned, either checkered, or they are dotted or striped, but they all carry the house colours. And then finally, towards a large pavilion tent, muddy around the main flap that you would enter into, you hear a faint plucking of strings on the air, and then you are walked into this pavilion tent. It's fairly large, but you, Harris, have to duck just below the triangular kind of flap, and you are presented, stood, and you're not, you're not thrown to your knees in a kind of disrespect or anything. You are just stood in front of Lord Pierce Karen. He's a short man, but he has fairly long, straight black hair and brown eyes, and has a salt and pepper moustache, greased and curled up around the edges. I wish I was making this up. He has a fairly rugged, sunburned face with a young complexion. And he is singing a curious song, one of sapphire and gold.
Worth it for Millie's face.
And as he plucks the last strings of the song on his harp, it's a fairly poor-looking harp here, probably a practice harp, one he doesn't want to part with, and if it was destroyed in a fight, then he wouldn't really care. a little out of tune to the discerning listener. He sings the last few beats, and then, without looking up to either of you, says, "A curious song that I have only just learnt recently." And he stands up. And then he finally regards you. And he says, "I'm to understand you are Lord Harris Ball and Lady Miria Sand, now of House Ironwood?"
That's correct. Am I to understand that you are Lord Karen?
Lord Pierce at your service.
It's a shame we should meet under such circumstances. And she raises her chained hands.
I want you to roll intrigue initiative, please.
Yeah, let's do it.
Status breeding. He doesn't have any breeding? What is this guy? +2 because he's a head of house. 20. He is, yeah, fuckboy.
Hey, Sam.
Mustachioed fuckboy.
Oh, head of house is a thing, right? It's a whole ass.
Head of house is a quality.
benefit.
Yeah, if you haven't bought it, then mechanically you don't get the advantage there, I'm afraid.
I just remembered it was a quality. All right.
It is,
Well,
yeah.
7? Maria. There's so many 1s and 2s in there. Oh my god.
7's not great.
Well,
huh?
I mean, she doesn't look great. She's probably covered in mud, bleeding from her head, in chains. Beautiful silks are ruined.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Yeah, nice one. Okay, cool. So obviously, you're going to speak for both Harris and yourself. I don't want to have to role play with myself. So he could offer you a bonus in some way, either assists, or he could offer you a little DR or a little some circumstantial bonus. If you would like.
Let's give him some DR or something, or some defense, intrigue defense.
He will look at defending you, so you get +1 DR for the remainder of the intrigue.
Okay. I'm just gonna write this in this box so I don't forget.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. All right. I might just throw some bonus dice Pierce's way if some circumstance comes into play. Okay. He asks, "My lord, my lady, what were you doing here at Fox Hollow? And assisting House Greenmont in a rather stupid attack on our forces. From what my scouts say, their number really wasn't much of a comparison for ours. And so what Lady Marcia was really thinking about such an attack, I don't know. Perhaps her guerrillas fared better in better times."
Miria quirks an eyebrow and almost rolls her eyes. "Then, my lord, I'm afraid that you need better scouts, as anyone who has witnessed at that battlefield will tell you that the Ironwood forces attacked only Greenmont men. We surrendered instantly the moment they were routed. Hence why I'm here. Had I chosen not to, it would be rather different. In fact, perhaps our situation might be reversed."
Is this
and
true?
She smiles.
And he turns to one of his sergeants, and he's just suddenly "Is that true?" And the sergeant kind of nods and says, "They let down their arms. I didn't see them attack our men, but they did defend themselves." Intriguing. And he spouts some clever reference to a song or a fable from old that I don't know or can't figure out right now. But yeah, he makes kind of reference to a story.
He's one of those guys
history.
that has a Shakespeare quote for every
His entire
equation.
personality is he quotes some references. Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good to know.
Cool. Okay. this is gonna be a... What's he got? He's not got much of that, has he? What? Why did I even build this guy? Just altering stats on the fly. Just language. Okay. He didn't really convince you of anything. Taunt, I guess.
Rude.
6.
No.
Really? That was garbage. Okay, cool. How do you want to act?
Okay, I'm gonna retarget. I'm gonna see what his whole shebang is. So it's an awareness, empathy. Let me just make sure I don't have anything for that. Nope. All right. Awareness, empathy. Let's chuck a bonus die in there. Why not? 18.
Very nice. Okay. With 2 degrees of success, you know that he is indifferent to you. And the kind of read you get off him is that he does find it quite curious why the Ironwoods are here, basically. He is just trying to figure out kind of what you're up to. He's got that suspicion about him.
That's fair enough.
Last technique was taunt.
Yeah. I mean, pretty obvious. Okay. So is he just gonna, like, just wait for Mary to speak again, or has he got something cooked up? Is he ready? The jibe?
No, he does ask flat out. So, why have House Ironwood ridden so far here to the north? Surely the rebellion is just as in need to the south and the east as it is in the Reach.
Certainly. And Miriam looks at Harris. But you see, Lord Harris Ball here is by decree of King Daemon II Blackfyre, second of his name, the new Lord Paramount of the Reach. And he asked me to escort him to the Tarly camp. So he wanted to meet with Lord Samwell.
Now, I have heard a number of things already in this second Blackfyre rebellion. One of them being that Lord Samwell is a pretender for that title. And yet, I know it as fact that we still have a Lord Paramount of the Reach, even though he is in chains and at Lord Samwell's pleasure. Lord Longthorn is still very much alive and very much in the custody of the Blackfyres. Perhaps tell that to our king.
If you would do me the honor of reaching into this pouch, and she shows like a pouch on her belt which has like the royal decree in it that was officially signed. This is more than just hearsay, and you are correct in what you said that Lord Samwell is a pretender to that title.
He walks forward, almost kind of like lavishly and kind of pretentiously, like this is maybe a little bit of a performance. He puts one foot in front of the other, toe to heel, and kind of like steps forward. And he's, if I may, a little sleazy, and he kind of he leans forward a little bit, and there's even like, a drama building like rustle of chains from Harris, and as a as a gesture that you would notice, a kind of like he's about to kind of shoulder barge him. But Lord Pierce just looks at him as he pulls out the decree.
I think Miria like tries to, or she can't, like she moves her hands to the side to like chill Harris, like it's okay. And she doesn't take her eyes off of Lord Karen. She's not going to be intimidated by this or put off by it.
10 against your intrigue defense?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I want you to roll for me then. If you're making a action to try and influence him, what I'll give you here is a convince. You'll obviously get your bonus dice from your +1B from the retarget. You'll also, because you've got this decree, get a +5 to your test result.
Oh!
Evidence,
Okay.
my friends, if you've got something that completely substantiates what you're doing, or it's a kind of big revelation, the book does encourage to give out these kind of things.
Okay, so whatever I roll, add 5 to it.
Yep, that could be a full 2 degrees of success if you hit the right.
It's 23.
Yeah, nice. So with 3 degrees of success, you managed to influence him. What is your will rank?
My will rank is, I believe, 4.
So 12. Oof. Oof. Oof.
She was built as an intrigue character before, everything.
Okay. Yep. He slowly he unfolds it. He looks for a second and he turns back towards his chair. It's one of those Roman style chairs, more of a. It's not. They haven't carried a throne here. It's one of the camp chairs that they would sit for war council, maybe. And he, not as lavishly this time, but he walks back towards it slowly, and then you see him turn on the spot and kind of sit down, and he considers the letter. And you can see the brewing frustration in his face as his moustache quivers on the right lip. Any maester in the Seven Kingdoms could make a document such as this. He looks at it again. But I see Aegor Rivers' seal here. A flaming horse. They did not think to reforge a signet ring for his grace, though, did they? And he considers this, and he will consider. You want to make the next move.
All right. Ooh. Okay. I think I'm just gonna try and smash him with just your standard intrigue action, just to try and kick his face in. But Miria.
Harris is right there, man.
And Miria looks at him almost slightly offended that he would even speculate that this document could be forged. It never even crossed her mind that forging something like this would be something anyone would do, because she is as honorable as the other next person. And I think she bites back at him a little bit more forcefully than maybe she intends, that surely, my lord, you are not accusing us of forgery. This is a document that was signed and sealed by both the king and Lord Bittersteel themselves. I have met Lord Bittersteel, and I know him to be an honorable man. Lord Harris here came across from Essos with Lord Bittersteel, has been under his service for many years. We're not here to play games. We are not here to enjoy a lackadaisical environment. We are here because this realm is at war. And the longer you hold us here, the longer the Targaryens have to rally, and the worse it will be for all of us. Are you quite satisfied?
I am satisfied when I hear really what your intentions are here. My Lord Harris, why have you allied yourself with this house? Are they a vehicle to get you here? Am I to take you on to Lord Tarly himself? What are your intentions? I'll leave that to you.
Okay. Okay. Lord Harris has allied himself with my house because he helped me take my house, and I owe him a debt for that. And he knows that I am loyal to the cause, and I am loyal to the king. We are here so that we may connect with our allies and put an end to this war. So we can all take our rightful places and enjoy the rest of our lives. We were here at Fox Hollow because this is an easy way through the mountains. I was raised here. I know the land well. I offered my services as a guide to Lord Harris. Shame you didn't recognize that, my lord. You were here at the tournament not too long ago, correct?
Lady Miria Greenmont.
Formally.
Formally. What happened?
I discovered the truth of my parentage. My father was not Lucas Greenmont, as previously thought. My father is Lord Oliver Ironwood.
Ah, the Black Lance.
Now you understand why this cause is so important to both of us. Lord Harris being the son of Fireball.
Roll your dice for the sake of rolling them dice.
All right. Where's my thing?
You've got all the bonus dice in the world.
Yeah.
And a test die.
We're gonna use. Do you know what? I think she's doing a little intimidate.
Yeah.
I think there's a little intimidate in there because she's like, you know who the fuck I am? You know who the fuck my dad was? You know who the fuck his dad was? Ugh. So I'm gonna I'm gonna put in how many of a bonus die have I got? I've got 3. Let's put a bonus die in there.
Okay.
28. She's scary.
Yeah, you smash it. Absolutely smash it. 4 6s? What does that even mean on the cheat sheet?
On the cheat sheet, 4 6s is
Get wrecked. Yeah, absolutely.
target loses their status from their intrigue defense until the end of the next exchange.
Oh, very cool. Cheat sheet? Did I have a little cheat sheet? House rules. It's usually my little list of things here. No, that's the rule book. But that's really cool, though. All right. I've forgotten what the last little bit you said, and I was going to reply. Of your role
It was
play.
like the cause was really important to us because my dad was the Black Lance, his was Fireball.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come from a fucking pedigree. Like, respect us.
Okay.
So that would be, how many degrees of success was that?
4.
Does it matter?
Doesn't
4.
matter. Basically.
Yeah, it would be. It would be 16.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you have influenced him. What is your objective? What would you like him to do, and how would you like him to respond?
Well, first things first, fucking free us because we are currently in chains. That would be nice. And for him to get on board with us as the new leaders in the Reach, basically.
So you want to convince him that Harris is the guy to follow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so he says to a knight, to a knight at his side, "Release my Lord Harris, Lord Paramount of the Reach, Warden of the West, Protector of the Manda. I can't remember the titles. Hang on a second.
There's a lot of them.
There are a lot of them, and I want to say them because it's always such a laugh. Hang on. How am I going to get here? Wiki of Ice and Fire? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Release my Lord Harris, Lord Paramount of the Manda, Defender of the Marches, High Marshal of the Reach, and Warden of the South. He's kind of giving it all that, right, as a bit of ceremony. And so your cuffs, your irons are unlocked, and you do the classic rub the wrists, yeah.
Yeah, you got it. You gotta do it.
You gotta rub the wrists. He does the rub the wrists, and Harris looks a couple of inches taller, after that. And yeah, you have now have the run of the camp, and your men are freed, and the horses are being kind of gathered up and stuff like that. From what you saw and from what you witnessed, now I know that you know what happened to them, but you saw the devoted trying to rout back up the hill. You did see some of the Karen men give chase, but not all of the way up the hill, and didn't cross the bridge itself, so they tried to stay out of arrow range and any kind of line of sight of that. But they have been digging some graves for Greenmont men, and they have been, taking stuff off them, short bows and slings and stuff like that, so that they might just grab some gear off of them, and you can see that kind of thing happening. What actually has happened to them, you don't know for sure. Whether they got back inside, whether they survived as a unit or not. Is there anything you'd like to do while you're in the Karen camp?
Now that me and Karen are besties, that's definitely how that worked. I would like to talk to him about the situation here at Fox Hollow.
Okay. Well, okay, that's cool. I think that's a good another scene. So what we'll do then is we'll dash off to Enzo. Tom, what is Enzo up to?
He is making his way to Highgarden, taking the long way round because bloody Horn Hill is in the way. He'll have to go the long way round, and he's keeping off main roads, primarily taking like little dirt roads or like little farm roads that don't really, even cutting across country. And he's using his scout, which is Oscar, who used to be a Greenmont archer and scout, so he knows the Red Mountains, and he'll be the one. So we are currently it's myself and my archer, my knight and squire, and armored infantryman. So it's Oscar, Sir Garth, Squire Morgan, and Marley. I sent Ren off to do something else with Bryn and Braith. Essentially, I have anything that makes Bryn look like he's rich, I've taken off him and basically muddied him up like that. And essentially saying that until this moment, until we reach Highgarden, Braith is your mother, and we found you after the war, kind of like left your farmlands. Basically, you're a farm boy now, until I say so. And even then, don't talk until I say so.
In terms of our map there, mate.
Yep.
What kind of way did you want to go round? Highgarden is only a few leagues to the north, really.
Yeah, it's not too far. So the
60
idea
leagues. If you go direct, I mean, you're passing by the Tarly.
Yeah, I
hold
don't
fast.
want to go there.
Yeah.
Don't want to go to the Tarleys. So what I would probably do is head directly north, and then hit east. Even if I have to go all the way up to is that the Manda?
It is the Manda, yeah.
Even if my scout says the only way he knows is to go directly north to the Manda and then just follow that down, I might even do that. It's down to what he decides to do. But essentially, I told him to avoid Hornhill and give us a wide berth at all costs, and a route that, basically is the most subtle, no kind of passing through main roads or anything.
Yeah, okay. So Ren rides off after a day or so, traveling north. I think first of all, you are taken through a bit of the Red Mountains. You have to travel off the beaten track because you basically have to also avoid the Karens who are here. And so dodging them, thankfully, is not too difficult as they're tied up with their counterattack that night that you leave.
I thought they were a little busy.
Yeah. So you have to go up some ravines, some rocks and stuff, and so you make slow work of the Red Mountains. But once you're on the plains, up through the Dornish marches to the north and then to the Manda River, it's a lot easier. And so in a little column, up you trot on horseback, making your way up there, looking maybe as if refugees from the war or just small folk trying to make their way around.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you make me a disguise roll? This is deception disguise, I think.
Well, I'm not disguising myself.
This is for Bryn.
This is for Bryn? Oh, God. I mean, what's disguise under?
Deception, I think.
Oh, shit.
Or maybe it's stealth. I think it's disguise.
No, it is.
I think it's deception.
I was hoping it was stealth, but it's not. All right, here we go. 7.
Okay. So I'll use that as a result to then kind of check against like awareness or passive awareness later on for guards and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think you would know too. It is probably not a very good disguise. Like you've done your best, but you didn't have any replacement clothes for him, so he's probably still wearing his colours of green, black, and there's embellishments of white cloth and gold, a little bit of gold in there too.
I reckon we just probably put a travelling cloak over him to try and hide what's and it's a kid. He's gonna.
Yeah, so he looks a bit messy, but there hasn't been too much of a cosmetic change about him. So anyone that does recognise him would probably recognise him, maybe, depending on their awareness. I mean, if their awareness is... if their awareness is 2, then yeah, they're going to recognise his noble birth at least.
Yeah.
But if their awareness is 1, then you're all right.
No one has an awareness 1 unless they're blind.
No, that's true. That's true. And even then, it would be a penalty die, right?
What we gotta do is make them blind before they see him.
Is that where you come in?
That's where I come in.
The big hat and the flaring personality.
Well, it is kind of like it. The idea is to use his charm, that all attention's on him and no one else around him. So it is part of what he's trying to do.
Yeah. Okay. And then if you... we haven't statted out your folks, have we?
Well, I basically just did. I think we said so it's essentially you have kind of a generic thing for like archer, knight, spy, armored infantry, right? We basically just said it was those. Whatever stats they have is probably what.
This was a Greenmont archer, right?
Yes, this was a Greenmont archer.
Let's roll some. Oh, why didn't I give them any actually stats? Okay. So this is the navigation roll, I guess.
Well, no, he was one of the whatever the scouts were. What are the
archers?
Yeah, I think the archers are the scouts, aren't they?
Hollow Hearts couriers. Couriers are the scouts.
Oh right. Well, he was So I think he was the couriers. Yeah.
I mean, You've still got a survival of 2. All right. Let's.
Whichever one has a bow and they use it, it was that one because he's got a bow.
Yeah. Couriers have bows.
Okay.
Do you want to put any of your bonus dice into this roll?
Nah. Okay.
Oh.
I had faith in him. You see, he
All
knows the
right.
mountains.
5 and a 5.
I lucked out there.
You did. You did. Let's see what that actually gives you in terms of survival. Let's see what the things are. Forage, orientation. Without becoming lost, base difficulty is 9, modified by day, weather, and terrain. You're in plains, so that's a flat bonus. You are. I described it as windy, but not very rainy. How's overcast a +5? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Whoever wrote this never went outside. Because apparently a night with the moon is a flat modifier, but overcast is +5. I don't know. They've never lived in Britain.
I have no idea.
Okay, it's a 9. A 9 is good. So actually, I'm not going to slow you down or anything like that. You make your way along the Mander, and then as you get closer to Highgarden, there are Highgarden soldiers. At least 2 to maybe 4, just on paths and on the roads, trying to vaguely patrol and keep the peace as you get close. And so, you think you're off the beaten track. The scout is basically following a trail along the Mander, and then you come upon just 2 of these Highgarden soldiers. And they challenge you. Halt there. And they approach. And they're not on horseback. That got spears and. Oh no, they probably are actually. Yeah. So you're getting pulled over, right?
I'm getting pulled over. I was speeding.
You're getting pulled over.
Bryn wasn't wearing his seatbelt.
No. You can't double them up like that in a seat.
No. He hasn't got a child seat.
He hasn't got a child seat on the horse.
On the horse. Yeah.
And they basically say, it's my duty to inform you, sir, good folk, that there is a conflict has come to the Reach, and I'm afraid Highgarden is closed to visitors.
Oh, I see. Well, we are actually fleeing from such things. We have. Do you know of do you know the place of Fox Hollow?
Heard of it, sir? Yes. What's happened there?
They are currently under siege by an army from House Karen.
And you've come from there?
We've come from nearby, yes.
Who are you, sir?
My name is Enzo Sal.
And the other soldier who is there, well, because you've got the famous quality, right?
Yeah.
Are you trying to disguise who you are, or
no? I'm not disguising who I am. No, I want them to know who I am, and I want all their eyes on me, so they aren't checking anyone else.
I love this. Okay, I want to roll, but I'm trying to work out what we roll.
No
Hang on,
idea.
right? So, yeah. This is probably going to be a status test, actually.
Okay. What status?
Status reputation. Do you get any bonuses from your quality?
We did change it. No, so originally, no, we didn't. But you changed it so that I can add my charm to my reputation thing, because of my reputation of being very charming.
Oh, fucking sweet. Yeah, sure.
I've got it written down. Basically, add charm to status rolls when using reputation. Now, I'm not sure if you meant add just a +3 or use 3 bonus dice.
3 bonus
I'm
dice.
assuming it's just. Oh, it's 3 bonus dice. Bloody hell. Okay.
Probably.
I'm for that.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm doing it now.
You never know what past Sam really meant.
Yeah, I know. That's 16 with a 6.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think basically, like, kind of against his passive awareness, you're basically like, oh my god.
Millie.
You're basically being flashy and distracting, right? That's the thing. That's what this is.
Yeah.
And the second soldier, argues about, fucking idiot. This is Enzo Sal. This is the pirate Enzo Sal. Oh, sorry, sir. I didn't mean anything by it.
That is fine. You're just doing your job. And good too. It's dangerous times.
I wish we could offer you better news. As I said, Highgarden is closed to visitors. Only the small folk around it and the lords and ladies that call it home are present.
I understand. Could you tell me, is I forgot her fucking name, Casella,
yeah.
Casella. Is Lady Casella? Is she? She's a good friend of mine. We danced back at Fox Hollow with the Tony. Is she in residence? Is she here?
Good sir, you haven't heard.
Good what?
She is being captured by Lord Tarley. Lord Tyrell as well, and his son, Peter. For all we know, they are still at Hornhill.
See. So who is in charge here?
His mother, Lady Elenia.
I see. I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of speaking to her. Look, we have traveled very, very far in such desperate circumstances as you can well imagine a army. Would it be possible at all if you were to ask maybe a superior that should we be allowed to enter? I mean, if you mention my name, I am well known about Hargard, and I'm sure that maybe they would allow me to enter.
By all means, I can ask for you, sir.
If you could, that would be... I would be eternally thankful.
All right. So let's kind of play this out as they're being introduced to the sergeant who's nearby, who can then travel you on, and you're still a few leagues away from Highgarden just at this point. But why don't you make me a convince roll?
Okay.
Against a 9 probably. Not even 9 probably. Be a 7.
Okay.
Some very quick derived statistics in my head. 18.
Yeah,
That's fair
18.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a very pleasant, I don't know what the Westeros equivalent would be of signing an autograph or taking a selfie, but it's probably something to do with that, right?
Yeah. Maybe sharing a story or
maybe you have to. Maybe there's a watchtower. Millie, there's like a watchtower that you have to kind of hold court in. So it's a bit like you're down the police station. You have to tell the detectives a story or some shit. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like you have to hold court. Susie, you have to stop now.
Jesus Christ.
So you kind of you just share these stories and stuff like that, and then you essentially they put word out to Highgarden that you'll be on your way, and basically the guards aren't going to stop you if you head inside.
It's the people inside I'm worried about.
Fair enough.
Guards I'm fine with. It's the ones that actually have a reputation and status that I'm worried about.
All right. What's your approach to Highgarden?
I'm just going to ride up I'm riding up to the gates, in the hopes that I can get inside. Once I'm inside, I mean, I'm gonna see if I can charm my way to get an audience with the mother. See if I can persuade her to take Bryn off my hands. Basically, I've got shit to do.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing what I was told to do. Seems all that I do at the moment.
So High Garden is surrounded by its 3 rings of curtain wall, right?
Yeah, it's
The first between the outer and middle walls is the labyrinth. Okay.
Memories.
Yeah. And then I guess if there's 3 curtain walls, then I guess there's like another kind of outer bailey, like within that, and then there's the castle yard proper.
Yeah,
I guess
it's like a solid frigging, like it's a proper defensible castle. Like,
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's pretty, but it's yeah.
Okay, and so wrapped in ivy, grapes, and climbing roses, you pass through the first of these walls. You go through the briar. You are led slowly. You walk the horses through one of these mazes, and there are, I imagine, guides that are literally just kind of employed to be here to take people through, and they know the briar best. And then once you reach the outer bailey through that second curtain wall, as the portcullis opens on the other side, standing next to a small horse, a courser, or more a horse for pleasure than for war, is Lord Randall Sloan.
Have I ever met Lord Randall Sloan?
I don't
think I
know
have.
that you have necessarily.
Isn't he the Lord of Whispers? Isn't he the twat?
Yeah, he is the Lord of Whispers. Yes.
Hey.
And he's a scruffy-looking noble by anybody's standards.
Yeah.
It's a kind of mop of brown hair, rough stubble, an angular jawline, a heavy brow, and brown eyes. And these eyes don't really seem to pay particular attention to anything. But they flicker about a bit, basically, seemingly inattentive. But he looks up at you and then he says, "Enzo Sal, I had heard that you were on the way."
Well, you have heard correctly. Here I am.
"What brings you to High Garden, sir? Perhaps I can guide you inside. Escort you inside."
I would be happy for you to escort me. I wish to speak with, and I've forgotten her name again.
We want to speak to Lady Elenia?
Elenia, yeah. I need to write that down. Hang on. Right. I wish to speak to Lady Elenia.
How urgently, good sir? She is currently otherwise engaged.
Well, quite urgently, considering the news I bring is of the war.
And what of it, sir?
Well, it is of a siege at Fox Hollow.
We had heard, yes. House Karen.
Indeed.
Camped at its gates, yes.
Indeed. But I was there and was able to escape. So I wish to inform her ladyship of what I know, so that it might be potentially used, I guess.
You could inform me. I would absolutely then pass it on to my lady in our war councils. Unfortunately, she and Sir Gawain are otherwise indisposed on a very important matter.
You see. Well, forgive me, what was your role here again?
I am Lady Elenia's Lord of Whispers.
Ah, of course. It makes sense that you know that I was coming then, wouldn't it?
He gives you a kind of disarming smile.
Hmm.
One that a wine cellar or a shopkeeper might give you.
There is, you see, there is something that I wish to ask her on a personal matter too. It's a little delicate, and not one that I wish to discuss with the Lord of Whispers. You understand, of course.
All right, Tom. Roll me your choice of either persuasion, deception, whatever you want to do to try and get past this guy.
I'll be doing persuasion.
I'm going to also roll. We're going to compare.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'll tell you what, I'll leave it as his passive.
Okay.
Intrigue defense.
Oh my god. Oh well. Good news is I can re-roll that one. That's bad. Me. Fuck me. Hang on. Can I just keep re-rolling ones, or do I have to take the second? No.
You have to take the second result.
12. Yeah, that's bad for me.
You just succeed.
Oh my
12
god.
is what you needed.
Jesus.
And so, again, with that disarming smile, he says, "Perhaps then, sir, I can escort you inside. As I said, Lady Elenia is otherwise engaged in invariably important Crawley business. And if you're permitted to wait, then she will no doubt speak with you at a later time."
Well, I suppose it has been a long journey, and I could do with a glass of wine. Lead the way.
I would be happy to provide. So, and he, gets on his horse. He rides you through the outer bailey and then into the castle's yard, where you start to kind of, stable up the horses, and you are escorted. You and your party are escorted up towards the castle. And just before you guys, let me just roll this too, just for the sake of this. Oh, he's actually very good at this. Okay, cool. And just as you're about to kind of split up the party, because obviously you've got some what look like small folk here, and they're not necessarily going to be given certain quarters. You're going to be afforded a bit more luxury and that kind of thing. Lord Randall comes up to you quite close, discreetly, and just says, "And will Lord Bryn be going with you, or will he be going with his small folk companions?"
Enzo will smile and he go, "He will be staying by my side."
As you wish. And then he informs the guards, "Bring the child with us."
Oh, and the woman with her, if that is acceptable.
And the woman. The rest can have walk of the grounds and will be afforded as accommodation as we can permit, as we have spare. And so the three of you will walk through Highgarden Castle, and Lord Randall escorts you up to some chambers.
Okay. Every time I see him, wherever he's walking, I am like a fucking hog. Like
Randall.
Any twitch, anything, because I'm gonna keep an eye on where he's taking us. Anything that makes me think that he is intending any harm or take us to a trap or anything like that, I am gonna, watch any subtle movement in his face or anything like that.
Roll me awareness notice.
Okay. What?
An 8.
I don't believe that actually happened. It's 12 because I can add my fighting, but I mean, wow.
4 1s and a 4.
Yeah.
So you can add your fighting. Is this Danger Sense?
No, this is Water Dancer.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I've never
So I had
looked
my
at Water
fighting-
Dancer.
Yeah. I had my fighting to all awareness checks, passive and active.
That's beautiful. All right
It's
then.
really good.
So a 12,
Really good.
yeah, no, a 12 is fairly good. So,
I think I should volunteer to have the cursed drawback.
yeah.
The funny thing is, my passive perception is significantly better than that as well. My passive is something like 24. So, dear me. I'm just very thankful it was just for a notice and not something like save your life or something.
Yeah.
Well, for all I know, it could be
don't think we
to
are.
save my life.
Okay. As you walk through the corridors of Highgarden, you notice that there are far fewer singers here than there used to be. You don't hear the kind of,
Okay.
tones that lull people into a, sense of chill and, happiness. You can maybe hear one off in the distance, but they're not as prevalent as they once were during peacetime. And Lord Randall is bringing you up through some of the more discreet corridors, and actually up through a servants' corridor and up through the servants' floors on the ground floor, first of all, and then takes you up some back staircases and then into one of the guest corridors on the western side of the castle. But apart from that, you don't get the sense that he's leading you, or misleading you, in fact, into somewhere that might be dangerous. From vaguely what you understand of the castle, he is taking you discreetly up to the guest quarters, and then once you get onto that corridor, that little kind of complex of guest quarters, you're fairly safe. There are guards posted around, and he walks you up to some chambers. He knocks quietly on the chambers, and then he opens the door. It creaks open as he walks in, heavy, and then you see there are people already inside. And he says to a lady, a young man, and then two twin daughters, who are all wearing House Florent colours. He apologises that they need these quarters and that they'll, have to be afforded some different chambers elsewhere once they can find some. And the lady there looks a bit peeved, but she eventually gathers up her kids and she heads off out the corridor, kind of giving you a bit of a glare as she leaves.
She glares. I'm going to give the most warm smile he possibly can.
All right. These should suffice, sir?
They would be wonderful. Thank you.
Sorry I couldn't afford you a view out towards the Briar.
I assure you, these are better than my previous accommodation here, which was no better than a cupboard. So you have done incredibly well. Thank you.
He looks down at Bryn and he says, "My lord."
And he'll kind of escort, show Bryn in. And he'll, if you could, it's difficult, I know, but if you could maybe ask her ladyship if at any point, it will not need more than 5-10 minutes of her time. I will go to her, whatever is easier for her. I would be most grateful.
I will try, sir.
Thank you. And he'll head in, smile, and shut the door.
Fair enough.
And at that point, he's kind of gonna, he'll have a quick look around the room. Just a quick look.
Yeah.
See if they left anything, the Florence left anything, or is any wine or something like that. And then he'll probably just get comfy and try and get Bryn to get comfy with Braith and sit back and relax.
There's a bit of old wine. When you leave like a glass in a bottle for a couple of days, like there's a bit of kind of, dusty old wine on the side.
I'll take it.
There's a bit of abandoned crochet from one of the twins, probably. but quite soon, servants come in and they start taking trunks out, and start giving you kind of clearing out the room and giving you the room.
Okay. As a servant comes, I'm going to stop one with silver in their hand and go, if we could get a bottle of wine and a few glasses, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, yes, sir. All right, sir. Oh, bye, sir. Off they go.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, what Mary Poppins? Off they go.
All right, sir. And then, essentially, he's basically just going to make sure that Bryn is okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try and explain what's going on. And in the most delicate way that he can think of, which is probably not the most delicate way, he's going to try and tell him to be strong because he may not see his mother again. Yeah. And he's going to do it like in a way, like at first he's going to think, and then he's going to do it in a way explaining how he lost his mother when he was a child, and he had to, like be strong and, like look after his family, and just kind of somewhat try to relate to him, but basically get into his head that you might not see Marcia again.
Yeah. Oof. Okay.
That's why I wanted more wine. There's a glass for Bryn.
Fucking
a lot of information.
feeding these 5-year-olds wine. Jesus Christ. Faye.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
You are on the back of this one horse, I guess, riding. I can't remember what they call it. Shotgun.
Why not?
I guess.
Crossbow.
Yeah, riding crossbow down this hill, and then slowing from a gallop as you get towards the into the grounds of Summer Hall and up towards the actual hall itself. You can feel the heat coming off of this place. It's like at this point, it's like you're standing right up against a bonfire from some of the festivals that you've previously been to, except you are still quite far away from any actual fire, and it's just kind of radiating out of this building off its bricks, and you can smell this kind of putrid, burning smell in the air, as if in part of cooked meat, but also this kind of oily and, for us, kind of petrol-y kind of smell that you have never quite kind of figured out yet. This kind of, oily, alien kind of smell in the air, but predominantly smoke and cooked meat. People are moving the dead around you. They're moving the burned, or they're dragging people out, survivors who are screaming into the into the mid-morning air as they're kind of clutching their face, or they're, clutching an arm, shaking, and small folk are descending down from the hill behind you to try and move in and try and heal the forces that are coming back out of the hall. Of them, Merryweather's men look to be the ones who are getting the most attention to start off with, but there are more of them just moving the dead out or trying to bring their fellow soldiers out. So there's plenty of Merryweather knights, their cavalry unit being dragged out. Horses have scattered. Those that have maybe were like they dismounted before they went in predominantly, and the horses that were out here have now fled, and it doesn't seem that many of Mullendor's men are accounted for, or visible to you at least here, just outside the hall. But it's up to you and Mara what you want to do now.
I think if we'd come close to them and I could see people screaming and stuff across their eyes, like Faye's been around cider production for quite a long time, and she knows some of the shit that can go on with like chemical issues. Nothing like this.
Someone's someone's fallen in a kettle at one point, or something, and received some bad burns. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with like cider vinegar can be really nasty if you inhale it, if you know, all that kind of thing. So I think she'd be shouting to the men to, you know, get water in his eyes. In fact, she probably she can't jump down off the horse unless Mara does. But
Mara's not getting off the horse. But if Faye is shouting stuff, because obviously Mara still wants to, she's probably galloping between these people, overlooking to see if any of them are Samwell. So if Faye starts calling something out, Mara will circle long enough for Faye to get that message out to whoever's dealing with that person and then move on. Yeah. It'll be basic stuff that you wouldn't learn on the battlefield that involves stuff that's a little bit more aggressive. Just basic first aid-y, clean his eyes out with water and get him the hell out of here kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
She wants to jump down, but she can't. Fuck you, Samuel.
And V, so you're just making your way around the outskirts of the hall, just trying to find where Samuel might be.
Yeah, she's looking for his armor, because his armor is a mirror of hers, basically. So, and that stands out. No one else on this battlefield has got that kind of painted, vine-etched armor, and that's what she's looking for. Not even necessarily the colors, because she's probably noticed a lot of these men are coming out, and, you know, where their colors would be on their cloaks and things like that is all burned away. But she will ask any of Caswell's men that she sees as she passes them if they've seen Samwell. Any of the soldiers who make it out that don't look too badly injured, you know, people that would have been right on the outskirts as that explosion came off and probably got out before the fire really started pushing, if they've seen him. But she's looking for that armor among all of these moving people.
You get heads shaking, or you just get people who are just, you know, too shocked to really speak, as they're trying to treat their friends, as they're, you know, the walking wounded who are heading out of there just completely phased by what's been going on. Around the eastern side of the hall, you can, you know, see in through the windows, and it looks like through the burning and the smoke that's in there, that the place has been barricaded up, even within the actual corridors and the halls that you can witness. Ahead of you, to the northern end of the grounds, as they go around and circle the hall itself, you can see that there's a courtyard, and then that drops down, and there are some steps down kind of either side of that kind of courtyard into what looks like more kind of fallow land, almost like there's these kind of more natural gardens, whereas everything that's so far to the wings and to the actual kind of main courtyard that you came into via the main entrance, that's more, you know, gardened and like, you know, fountains and stuff like that. But yeah, apart from being surrounded by knights in those grounds, make me a awareness notice check.
Let's see. Oh, my character sheet's doing weird things.
It's all right.
There we go. The thing I don't have dice in. How many dice have I got sitting in my window?
Oh, you got 4 bonus dice and 1 test die.
Okay, I'll use 2 bonus dice for this one, because she is like, she's hyper focusing now, and that is all she can think about. She probably doesn't even comment on like seeing these ruins and being able to look in. And Faye would probably notice she's sitting bolt upright on this horse, like if Faye's paying attention, like she's gripping into the leather so hard, it's probably going to leave welts on her hand by the time that she's
Faye
done.
has currently just got one arm round you and another on the dagger in her skirt, just in case. But she is looking at anything but you. She is looking to see if there is any threat coming at you at any point.
Mara's probably not even thinking about Faye in this moment. Like, she's vaguely aware that, like, she can feel Faye's body weight behind her, but she's just, that's the only thing she cares about. 17.
Oof. From where you are, you don't see Samuel himself. However, I will let you ask me 2 questions about the kind of evidence that you have for where he could have gone.
She would have been in the meetings for what the plan was, entering Summerhall and knowing, what Samuel's plans were, which were to go in, get the wards, bring out Targaryen hostages if they could. So I think her... I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this as the question, but I think she'd be looking for, since this all went to hell, and like seeing the barricades and knowing that that's not what they'd prepared for, where would be the sensible place to leave this place from? If it wasn't through the front doors, where is the most obvious, like, quick exit that she can see? Because she'd figure that's where he'd go.
Out the back. So rather than the front and the wings of the hall itself, heading straight out the back of the hall into that rear courtyard to the north is where you think you would go in a pinch.
Okay. I think that's where she starts heading then, as she, Faye probably feels her stop the horse, and Mara looks around, staring at Summerhall and forming this in her mind, trying to think back to anything Samuel's ever told her about when he's been in battles. Every detail of that war council that she can recall in that panic, and suddenly just pushes off and heads in that direction. And I think when she's there, I guess she's looking for an obvious sign that somebody has left through this way. Like, something being massively disturbed that would, have to be pushed over, wouldn't just be the result of the fire and the blast. A door or a gate that's open that probably shouldn't be, unless somebody had come through here. She's looking for a sign that he's been here.
And as you gallop into that rear courtyard, you see that on one of the walls, kind of one of the wings, essentially, there is like a small stable here where they might keep animals, or perhaps a couple of ponies or something. Whoever was in here has fled so far. There is a glint of black armor inside against some straw, but the doors are wide open, and there is a trail. There are kind of tracks you can see in the mud of people having fled out that way. And yeah, definitely evidence of people
Second
leaving.
that Faye sees that armor, her hand's going to come off the dagger and pull the bow out and knock an arrow onto it and have it trained exactly where that is.
And I think that's where Mara probably stops. She goes to turn the horse to look around the area just from where they're standing. As soon as Faye knocks the arrow, like, that sound catches her out of this, like, hyper focus. And I think maybe Faye probably spots it before she does, because Mara's like, her brain has gone, that's black, that's not Samuel's armor. Like, it's just overlooked it as this is not important information, and then it snaps back. Do you think? Should we go in?
Does it look like that part of the building is on fire?
I mean, the whole building is on fire. It looks like that the barn is not long from catching. The kitchens, and you can see through a few glass windows where there is some servants' kitchens that have obviously been kind of like pushed through and barged through. not that the windows are smashed, but there's kind of door on the other side, and through that door you can see the clear, bright, now orange flame of normal fire as all the wildfire is burnt out, but everything else is catching. You can see that the kitchen is starting to catch. You've probably got a minute, maybe, before that barn catches to see what's in there, if you wanted to go in there. But there doesn't seem to be any evidence of people in there right now, apart from that figure, that foot and leg of black armor from where you are.
I think Mara probably, if there's like a gate that's got any kind of like twisted metal on it, she's going to set the horse by it really quickly and just loop the reins over there so it can't necessarily just tug away and be free.
Oh, no, hand on the arm. This is not what we're looking for. There's a time and a place for curiosity, and now is not it.
I don't know where else to look, Faye. He had to have got out.
She'll just sit back slightly on the horse, just eyes trained, almost like a cat on that armor, checking to see if it's moving, any little twitch.
I think Mara's only thing here is that if she's convinced this is the way out that he might have come, is to look around for any sign of him, sign of Tarly colors, like a discarded helm, even Heartsbane, if he would have dropped that on the way out, looking for something that she can point at and say that's his. Like she's just in desperate, like anything else that she doesn't recognize is just going to the back of the brain filter.
Okay. Make me a survival track test.
Where even is survival? Here we go.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Where even is survival?
What am I looking at dice wise? I'll put a bonus dice in this. Why not?
Yeah, you might need to.
11.
It's good. Yeah.
That's surprising. Mara's got nothing in survival.
The only track really that is defined in the ground, you can see skirted along the gravel of the courtyard, and then blood well, I don't know, he was burnt, he wasn't really hurt. Yeah, you see a bit of plate in Tarly colours. It's like a pauldron's been pulled off or something like that. Just by the corner, one of the stairs that go down into that kind of garden, that kind of more wild fallow garden. On the very edges of that garden, there's hedgerows and a few bits of wrought iron fencing.
And that garden area is not on fire, right? Because it's removed from the building.
That's right, yeah. It's literally a kind of 15-foot drop from the courtyard to that field. They've built this upper courtyard, and then there are these two stone staircases either side that kind of triangularly go down into that field.
Kind of stairs that are not so steep and wide enough that Mara could ride the horse down them?
No, okay. Not at all.
Hopeful.
In which case, as soon as she spots like that pauldron and those marks in the ground, she kind of doesn't quite turn to Faye, but like stops the horse and kind of, she doesn't want to like tap Faye because the both of them, I think, have probably worked out this really uncomfortable closeness that's happening right now. She just kind of like motions her hand and points and just goes to dismount.
I think Faye will cover her while she jumps down and then comes straight down after
Mara
her.
will be nice and like offer her the hand, because getting off of these horses is probably not very comfortable.
She won't take it.
She tries anyway.
She'll just jump country girl style. She's fine with it.
Mara will draw the rapier at her side. She, for what it's worth, she knows she can't really do anything with it. But she draws it and starts making her way down those steps and looks back at Faye to see if she's following. You don't have to come down here if you don't want to. It's okay. You don't have to follow me out here.
Past you and shoulder you out of the way and take point. there's no way she's letting you go first.
Mara's not even gonna argue with her at this point. But she doesn't let Faye go too far ahead. Like, she's not gonna, because in the back of her mind, she's like, if anything happens to this woman, I'm never gonna hear the end of it. Like, I'm never gonna forgive myself because of how much it's gonna hurt him.
So where are you heading? Down the steps?
Yeah.
Down the steps, yeah. Whichever side that pauldron was on, just like working down that way, looking for any other tracks, any other signs of like armor that's come off. You know,
They'll be looking specifically for like ground that has been disrupted, like blades of grass.
Like anything that looks like it's been burned either, or anything that smells of that petrol smell, because they've probably noticed that the men coming out smell of this stuff have got burns or have been on fire. Like they've probably seen dudes being like, you know, running out screaming, still half in flames. So
yeah, well, roll me awareness notice then, and Millie will give you her rank, half her rank rounded down as a modifier to the test result.
In awareness?
Yes.
So 1.
Okay. I've got one more bonus dice, right? Let's go for it. Why not? So 15.
Very nice indeed. And you do indeed, towards the end of the gardens there, lying in the hedgerow, as you immediately recognise, Samwell's armour. Him in it, lying down in the hedge.
Like doesn't barge Faye out of the way or anything, but just moves past her and bolts over there, and like immediately skids to her knees to go over to him.
I think Faye would scream "wait" as she did that, but not move.
Mara's over there.
It could be a trap, but
okay. Sorry, you both head. I'm sorry, I was daydreaming. You both head over there because I'm thinking about what to do.
Faye pauses, plants her feet and calls for her to stop, but doesn't follow.
Mara doesn't.
So she's just got the bow trained on wherever that is and is looking around to see if this is a trap.
Okay.
Mara just bolts past her. Probably doesn't even hear her tell her to stop. And like immediately, as soon as she gets over to Samwell's body, like crashes to the ground on her knees, pulling these plants out of the way to see if he's still alive.
Yeah, so he is still breathing. Parts of the chainmail under his plate, under his armor, are fused. And some of it may be fused to his body. There's kind of smouldering coming from underneath his padded armor. As you can see that he has been on fire. He has burns up around his neck, a little bit around his face. But you think the burning might be down more towards his chest. He's still hot to the touch, but he is still breathing. And he's just making those kind of little grunts, those little sounds as if he's trying to verbalize through his breath. It's kind of a semi-conscious state.
Immediately, like her entire demeanor changes. This whole time she's been like holding all of this in, and she's just in tears and just like, shh, it's okay, I'm here, we're gonna get help. And she's like, now the panic starts setting in, and she realizes she can't think, and she doesn't want to, she wants to like hold him, but she can't touch him because the armor's so hot it burns her skin, and she doesn't want to hurt him more. As you know, it's Samwell, so he's probably trying to fucking move like an idiot. And I think she just looks back at Faye, and like you can see Mara's crying, but it's only halfway upset, and you can just see, get help. Faye, go get help. Take the horse, bring the men, get help.
You can see her eyes like scan the area, like nothing's jumped at them, everything is okay. And she knows that they're like round the back of this building. They've gone back and down, right?
Yeah.
And going to get somebody, pulling them back going back again. That's too fucking long.
And as she shouts this, you do spot something. And I need you to roll agility quickness, please.
Oh dear.
Oh, hang on. I'm going to add one of my bonus die to this roll.
One of yours?
Yeah, I got bonus die in my little doobie. People have been giving them to me over the course of the campaign. I've just not been spending them.
I'm going to put 2 bonuses into
Sam
this.
3/6's web there, mate.
Oh shit! Maybe I'm not then.
Sam.
I'm fucked.
What you putting in? What? Sorry, you putting in a bonus dice?
I was going to do it, so yeah, 2 bonus dice.
2 bonus, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you equal it, then I will have given you the initiative.
No.
So close.
Out from the hedge, as and because of Mara's yelling, you spot an infantryman with a large, shimmering, dark sword, a great sword, rushing towards Mara, and goes to swing.
What's he wearing?
Targaryen armor.
Describe weak points. What are we going for?
So he is in a hard leather. So it's been stained as dark as it can, very, very dark brown, and then there's kind of, red tubing and bits and bobs on it. This looks like a fairly kind of normal infantryman. This doesn't look like a knight or anything like that.
Okay, is there anything on his head?
There is like kind of a kind of bucket helm type thing. Maybe there's a like a nose guard there or something. But yeah, he's got a helm.
She is going to fire the arrow directly at this guy's torso as he's running. There's no point going for his head.
Well, before that, he's gonna try and slice up Mara.
Ooh.
I don't know how combat works, so this will be fun.
Throwing the two of you into a combat, yeah. For tonight, I'll throw one more of my bonus dice into this cheesy roll. All right. What is your combat defense?
I'm going to be honest with you, Sam. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Oh, cool. Okay. On the let me have a look. On the second tab.
Yeah.
Where you've got your intrigue defense and stuff like that.
Yes.
You should have a combat defense as well. You've got combat, there's initiative there, but you've got defense of 5.
5, yeah.
Cool. And that armor rating of 5, armor penalty of -2, that's your breastplate stuff, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. It should be.
Cool. Sweet.
I'm sure I put it in here.
Susie, can you double check the breastplate stats for me? Whip your little book out.
I remember looking at the book and doing something with the information when we talked about it. But it's 50-50 if I wrote that down to put in here or if I put it in here.
Yeah, no, fair. I think -2 feels right. Brett and armor rating of 5 feels right. Okay, so health of 6. Okay, so the combat defense of 5. That's 2 degrees of success, which means that it's a 13. Still doesn't affect it, but a greatsword stats.
Also, thankfully, I just realised earlier I looked in the wrong place for destiny points. They're on this screen, not my character detail screen.
All right, there you go. Athletics +3, which is athletics of 3 +3.
Yeah,
6,
-2 is right for breastplate.
7.
Okay, sweet.
You are going to take 14 points of damage. -5 brings it to 9, which would defeat you.
Yeah.
Put you to 0. You can take a wound and ignore all of the damage. You can take injuries. You can take a maximum of 2 injuries, and that will reduce the damage by your endurance rank each time, which means that we're 2.
I don't know what mine is. 2.
So you could reduce it. So you could reduce it by a further 4 at most, and you take 2 injuries.
Pope made a good point. Are great swords, do they have vicious trait?
They do.
Ooh.
Jeez.
She auto takes a wound, right? With vicious.
No.
I'm glad somebody knows how combat works.
Vicious means that I have to kill her if I defeat her.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
How many wounds can I take? I'm sorry, I've never had to do combat in this game.
You can
so I
take
have
one
no
wound
idea.
without dying. The second wound you take will kill you.
I'll take the wound. I don't know where to put that in here, but
I did get a 6 in
here.
that roll, and
Here.
12 is double your combat defense. So let me have a little ganders here. Combat? Yeah, combat. I ignore 2 of my opponent's AR. So let's do that again. You would actually reduce that damage by 3. The damage is 7, so you're taking 11 damage unless you take that wound, which ignores all of the rest of that damage.
Yeah, I'll take the wound.
Okay. What is the wound? As this great sword comes down on you.
I think Mara probably catches the flash of the movement as this guy approaches her, and probably sees Faye readjusting the bow, and that's where she turns. And I like to think that what she does is half throws herself across Samwell, and she's got greaves as part of her armor getup. And I think that she just puts her hand up instinctively where the metal is and just takes the full brunt of that greatsword swing on her arm. And that wound probably just shatters her wrist from the impact.
That swing and the Valyrian steel that Heartsbane is made from cuts in part through the bracer on the edge that you've got, and shatters a bone, forearm bone.
She probably
and
feels that
crunches
moment
and
that it
breaks
just snaps.
Yeah.
And
this just slices through part of your arm as you scream. Hey, you're up.
Well, I mean, apart from the fact I don't actually have my bow on my sheet because I literally only picked it up, and I have no clue if it would even do enough damage to go through this armor. She's not thinking about that right now. There's just a thing that's happened,
It might, yeah.
and she wants to kill it. So I'm going to use everything.
So a hunting bow, its damage is your agility rank.
Oh, well, we were all fucked.
And then you multiply that damage by the number of the degrees of success that you have done.
I mean, we're still fucked, but let's find out what happens. Yeah, I'm going to use everything.
Okay. That's 1 plus 1
bows.
dice and 3 bonus dice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you do that.
Okay. 22.
And 2 6s. That is very good indeed. Very good indeed. Okay. So with a combat defense of 5, this is where Don needs to do my maths for me. Now I need to actually just go back and learn how to math. 22 minus 5, 17, 4 degrees of success, right? 4 degrees?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. 4 degrees of success. You inflict 4 times your agility rank.
My agility's only 2, so 8.
8. Take 4. He will receive 4 damage. He will take that.
It was also 2 6s, so his DR is reduced by 1.
Oh, nice. Well, if it's 2 6s, then...
Yeah, it's a vulnerable.
Oh, properly, yes, under a hit,
Yeah.
properly reduce your opponent's AR by 1 until repaired. All right, then. So, 3 of that. What did we say the damage was? 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take 5, and I'll tank that. Okay. Mara, you get a chance to react now.
I think in this moment, Mara can't fight 'cause she's right-handed.
Mhm.
So the arm that went up is probably instinctually her right hand because that's the dominant one. And she would have dropped that sword to try and deal with Samwell. So I'm going to do the reverse of what Dom does at Intrigue. And instead of going to combat, I think Mara's just going to look up at this man. Has he got a helm on? Or
But you can see his face, yeah.
and she's going to look him right in the eyes, right after he shattered her wrist and she's bleeding from, that gap in the greaves on her arm. And like, I feel like she kind of lost a little bit of her fear of death after the Godswood, like when she really thought she was going to die. And I think she looks at him and there's like the moment as he's like hit by Faye's arrow. And like, I don't know, I like to imagine he's a Targaryen, so he's probably really cocky, right? And he's doing that whole thing where he's like, the anticipation of like, haha, got you now. And in that moment, she's just going to look at him and go, do I really look like a woman who is afraid of the sword in your hand? You can stay and you can do whatever you're going to do. But believe me, there are enough men on that field that they will round you up and slay you like the rest of them. If you want to burn and die for a king that does this, be my guest. But are you better off alive or dead? If you leave now, you might be able to outrun them. And she's like making a very clear threat that she doesn't care what he does, but like points out that he's nearly just burned alive. And that, he can probably hear the men as well, if he's been out here, who are circling around. And Caswell's forces aren't like a tiny force. There's a decent number of them from how Don has described it. But she's basically threatening him that he can leave with his life now, or he can stay and this is pointless. Like, him doing whatever he's about to do is going to change nothing. Okay. I just want an excuse to use her Intimidate that I've been sitting on for like 3 seasons.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I will say, I think it'd be much more difficult to influence someone as they're attacking you. So you're going to take a -5 to the test result.
Okay.
And obviously his DR is malicious. He's trying to kill you. Yeah. So.
Where is the thing? Sorry, I'm trying to work my way through the character sheet now. Intimidate. I've got a test dice, right?
You're also down a test dice because of wounded.
I'll use my test dice that I have in there then, so that should bring it back up to normal.
So you'll still roll all of the dice. You'll still remove that penalty die. It might be easier for us to work out what you'll actually be rolling. So we take that test die out. Okay, what would you normally be rolling?
Persuasion, Intimidate.
So what number of dice is that? That is Jesus Christ. Why have you got 4 bonus dice in Intimidate?
Yeah.
All right. So you'd normally be rolling 8 and keeping 4. You are now rolling 9 and keeping 3. No, test die. Yeah, adding the test die. Removing the penalty die. Roll 9, keep 4. That's what I'll say.
Okay, I don't know how to do that in here, so I'm just going to hit submit and see if that's what it comes up with.
Okay.
Because I'm confused. That is rolling 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's rolling 8 dice. So she should have rolled 1 more, right?
Okay, if you up your persuasion temporarily to 5, then because you've got the... Sorry, I moved your page there. Because you've got the wound, if you've actually written in the wound, 1 wound on the sheet, on that other tab, it should factor it in. So let's try it again.
Okay. I don't know how wounds work. There we go.
The sheets are a bit of a muddle, to be fair. Okay, that rolled a lot more, and you kept 4. Yeah, cool. I was right. 22 minus 5, 17.
So
17?
17?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With two
she gets
sixes.
a +1 with persuasion, so 18. Total.
18 with 2 6s. Intrigue defense
I'll
of
get the cheat sheet
6.
up. I don't know if that's a thing.
It's 2 degrees of success.
Is
sorry?
intimidate a persuasion test?
Yep.
She has to re-roll the 6s.
Why?
She's marked.
Oh. Oh no, I don't think. No, you're not marked. No, no.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
My damage was I removed status. I only have to re-roll 6s on deception. I'm good.
Oh god.
But her scarring is purely cosmetic because it removed her attractive feature. It didn't give her one. Yeah. Don't scare me like that, Tom.
Fucking hell. You come for a character and suddenly everyone becomes a rules lawyer.
It's only because I want to see Miria kill me. That's why.
Well, and there's just so many rules you can't remember them all.
No,
There's just so many.
I know. Susie, if you want to do that joke but totally legit campaign afterwards, let's talk about a full-on house rule for this. Let's talk about it. Right, where the fuck are we? Right, hang on. 18, 2 degrees of success. What is your?
I've been informed in a Discord that 18 is 3 degrees of success.
With intrigue defense of 6.
I don't know. I'm
6,
just telling you what
11,
I've been told.
3 degrees of success.
Okay.
I don't math. Leave me alone.
Neither do I, Sam. So messy.
In a Discord. All right.
Discord.
What's 3 times your will rank?
12.
Okay. Okay. You have influenced the guy. What do you want him to do?
She wants him just to give up and run. Just like drop anything he doesn't and just start going. Like that whole thing of like, if I leave right this second, I will get out of here. Because she's trying to put across that like now is your chance. If you don't go now, doesn't matter what you do here, you're dead. And you're useless to any of the causes that you claim to fight for.
Okay. He throws Heartsbane at you as if to try and like pierce you with it.
Oh.
It's not normally a thrown weapon, and it's a great sword, but it's Valyrian steel. I'm gonna roll marksmanship thrown, and it's not a good stat, so I'm just gonna see what happens.
Oh no, Sam! You know what's gonna happen.
What's your combat defense?
4 6s incoming.
5?
Wait, you're rolling 2 dice. 4 6s.
5? Oh no, that's gonna be a double 6. Oh my!
Oh my god!
Sam, whoever you bribed at Roll20, I need their email address.
But I don't fucking... This game, man. This fucking game. Okay.
I have a destiny point. It's fine. Terrible things are allowed to happen.
Okay. You
take any penalty for it being a great sword that he's trying to throw.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, I will take the penalty
Do you know
die.
how big Heartsbane is?
I will take a penalty die on this test. And he scores a 6, which is 1 degree of success. The damage is normally 4, wasn't it? Athletics plus 3. No, it was normally 6. Okay, so your armor of 5 would tank that of 5, so you take 1 damage.
I imagine that what that does is, as he throws it at her, like it catches, that side of the breastplate where there isn't really anything there, because she's not wearing like chain underneath. She's not dressed in full plate like Samuel is. I imagine that what it does is like the point doesn't spear her, but the side of that blade, as it knocks across the armor, just catches her in the side and like leaves a really horrible open gash right along that opening side.
For the drama, I want to say that it spins you round, throws you to the floor. So, Faye, what you see is Mara the sword gets thrown at her, and then she spins and falls to the ground. That great sword landing next to her. What do you do?
I imagine she lands on Samuel because she's trying to shield him.
Yeah.
Oh, right on Burns. Ow.
Yeah. And lands across him.
So I can see the guy's just running, right?
The guy pegs it, yeah,
Good.
out the
Okay.
bushes and runs.
The second he breaks, the bow goes over her shoulder, and she's straight across there, over Mara. Just going, where did it get you? Put some pressure on it.
I imagine that Mara is just like half slumped over Samuel, and you can probably see her bleeding from that arm pretty badly and across the open side that Faye's exposed to.
Yeah, it's not anything vital, but there's probably a lot of blood coming from her her right forearm, and then
Faye is instantly going to pull the dagger out of the pocket under her skirts and just throw Mara this look like, I fucking hate you, and then slice her dress straight down the front, rip it off so she's just in her undershirt, and
she's got
hack this
breastplate
material
over the top,
up,
like,
and just
she's wearing a breastplate.
She's not in a dress. She's
hers.
Faye's dress. Damn.
Yeah. And she's just going to use parts of that to like bind her up. Just to try. Is the breastplate covering the part that's it's like an empty bit, right?
It's that split down the middle, like where the plate comes on. That's what's caught her, and she's just got. I imagine it's not like the worst wound in the world compared to her arm.
Yeah.
Like she winces as she moves.
Yeah.
But the whole time you can see that she's still trying to like. Her brain's in protective mode. She's still trying to cover Samuel, and she lets you wrap her arm, but like she's not saying anything. You can see it in her face that she is just somewhere between terrified and horrified and relieved.
Yeah, she'll wrap the arm and strap it across there because that's what she's seen people have done to them when they fall out of trees. It's not pretty, but it's just like, that goes there. Pad the one there because she doesn't want to take the breastplate off in case she does more damage. And then just rolls her slightly off Samuel. And she's gonna, so there's like the back part remnants of her dress that she hasn't hacked up. She's gonna roll him onto it and just be using it to heave him.
Yeah, and you can kind of, you can grab and stretch him and kind of get him out there.
Mara will help with the one arm that she's got.
You've got two hands.
And as soon as they get by the steps, Mara will just start screaming at the top of her voice. She'll call for Caswell because she knows that'll also get the attention of if any of his men are nearby, but just won't stop until somebody hears them.
And finally, you see a couple of knights on horseback of Caswell's, rear up at that kind of fence, just on the top of the courtyard wall above you, and then they rush down the steps to come and greet you and to help you get Samuel to safety. Miria, you wanted to have a chat with old Pierce, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Just going to pause for a minute as she's walking through the camp. She senses an opportunity missed. A dagger drawn. It's not in the back of Lara.
Tell me about it.
No, but Miria is, she wants to speak to Lord Chiron, and it's about Fox Hollows. I imagine it's like over like a war table kind of thing with the attack from the Greenmont men. They'll be probably talking about what to do next, what to expect.
Yeah, so you you eat a dinner with Harris and Lord Pierce of rations. But there's a rich gamey meat in a stew, at least something hot and warm, and and has a little bit of substance to it. Something quite practical about it as well, and it's kind of homely kind of taste.
Probably a deer poached off Greenmont lands, right?
A bit more gamey than that, probably. Pheasants or something.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Good pheasant at Greenmont. But Miria is kind of like, she's eating, but she's kind of also pushing it around, in the little bowl. She's clearly distracted. Look, Heron, we need to talk about what happens next with Fox Hollow. What do you intend to do?
I am here, my lady, my lord, as nothing more than a deterrent. We don't truly intend to take Fox Hollow, just immobilize Lady Marcia. She's one of the only sure bets for the Targaryens in the Reach, particularly the Dornish Marches too. As a fellow Marcher Lord myself, when Lord Samwell requested my presence here, I saw it as the perfect strategic decision, so I came at his behest. Now, of course, my lord, I serve at your pleasure.
It was a good strategic move, but however, Lady Marcia is not a strategic woman, and she saw you camping here as a sign of aggression. She did not understand that you were a deterrent. She assumed it was an attack.
I don't blame
She's
her.
also... I don't either. She's also a very proud woman, and a woman who is at the end of her rope. This attack by the devoted is the first of what I assume will be many. She is not strategically minded. She will keep sending men until she drives you from her lands. Fortunately for her, she doesn't have many left. But partly why I came here was to try to stop Greenmont from completely falling in this war. However, having spoken with the Lady Marcia, I don't see that happening on her account. I should also warn you that whilst I was there in the keep, I did not see one of the units that I know the house to have. There may be another surprise attack coming.
I will have our soldiers double their efforts with the watch and be battle ready. Perhaps it would be good to back off slightly. Give us some space. But at least control the routes into Fox Hollow.
My one request is that should things escalate and should you attack, that you spare her life and the life of the Lord Greenmont.
I have no great desire to murder any lords or ladies. As I said, I'm here strategically.
None of us do, my lord, but sometimes it's out of our hands.
Of course. There have been a small, unfortunate number of jousts in which I have killed younger knights. It's part of the sport. But it still haunts you. And so I do wonder, my lord, Lady Miria, what your intentions are now. Now that I've told you that Lord Samwell wishes that paramount seat himself, Lord Protector of the Mander.
Our intent is to speak with the Lord Samwell. Try to gauge him. I've met him before, but not in this capacity.
Well, then you'll be wanting Summerhall, for he and the rest of his host have marched there to take Lord Maykart's seat.
Summerhall?
The very same.
And Miria looks at Harris like, this bitch serious?
Yeah. Yeah, and Harris gives you that look back, and it's a little bit more quizzical than that, as a kind of like, what kind of move is that? Like, he's not gone after Highgarden, like the prize? Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, and we I think we've got that look like, what? Summerhall then. Prince Makar's? Why would he do that?
Perhaps to show the Targaryens what for. Perhaps to try and capture one of their key princes. Valuable asset. Prisoner would be. A ward. Well, Lord Samuel knows that only too well. Perhaps he's trying to collect them in some fashion. Bring the realm to its knees via strategic captures. Summerhall is of significant importance, particularly to the Stormlands and its route into Dawn, but not as much as House Will or even Ironwood.
We're quite acquainted with Summerhall, and she gives him like this look, like, don't mansplain Summerhall to me. I fucking live there, bro.
But it would not have been my choice for a siege.
No. Perhaps he thought it would be an easy victory.
Perhaps he's
Summerhall
already
is but a
attained one.
palace.
It's true.
Perhaps he has. But what then of Prince Maekar? He is surely gathered a host of his own.
One would assume. And if Lord Samuel hasn't met him on the way, and if I was Lord Maekar, Prince Maekar, then I would ride south. The Black Dragon has landed in Dawn. I would be getting there as quickly as I could.
We had feared that he would make that move. Again, partly why we came out here was to try to get as much support as we can, just in case such a thing would happen.
It seems to me you have, personally, a couple of options. One of them is try and ride out and meet Lord Samuel. The other, if Prince Maekar has made the journey south, perhaps is a little too late, and you will, if he has gathered enough of a host, will not be able to stop him at Ironwood. I don't suppose, if you are on your own. I don't know, my lord. Has there been a host guarding the way? I would imagine that the Black Dragon will be, and who is it? His real sponsor in Dawn. Who will be Jourdain, I think. Who will be riding east towards Sunspear.
As like Karen says this about, was there anyone guarding the way? Like, in that sort of manner, Miria's hand very like squeezes so tightly on that like wooden spoon that she's holding, and Harris probably notices that. He's been around her long enough now to notice the Kill Bill siren look that flashes across her face. I have never been one to believe, my lord, that anything is too late. If Prince Maekar has ridden south, there are men to defend Ironwood, and I will simply ride behind them, and I will show the anvil what it truly means to be in a hammer and anvil.
The Blackfyres have a true asset in you, I can see. That fire in your belly demonstrated at the tourney. The melee.
You were watching then.
Don't let one victory, one personal victory, make you arrogant. Particularly when it was Lord Samuel that walked away with the prize. I do remember Prince Maekar not faring very well, though.
From what I remember, he took a rather nasty wound.
Perhaps he's grown old and slow.
I am certain that soon enough we shall find out.
Harris looks over the table to you and says, if we double the horses, if we ride with a small cadre, then perhaps we can make it double time to Summerhall. Perhaps we should send the orders south, back to Hanwood.
Leaves us less secure, but leaves Ironwood more defended.
From here to Summerhall, I don't think there'll be much resistance. I mean, Starpike is along the way. We'd be going past Nightsong, so there wouldn't be any much resistance there.
If we go to Starpike on the way, we have the Peak Master of Arms with us. He pledged that the Peak men would fight for Blackfyre. We can gather a force of Peak men there.
Perhaps. And Lord Pierce says, they have already deserted, my lady. I believe... oh, perhaps I'm wrong. I believe they were joining up with the host. Or perhaps they are at Hornhill. But I had heard they had deserted, and I heard they had attached themselves to rebellion in some way or another.
That's troubling.
Perhaps you might still find them on the road.
We can only hope that the gods are kind. Could you, Lord Karen, send word to the Tali camp that we will be arriving, that we are headed in their direction?
Of course. I brought a maester and some ravens. Always beneficial to have some means of communication.
Tell the Lady Mara that her sister is coming for a visit.
Very well.
And there's like a steely, like absolute bitch face expression across Miria's face as she says it. There's no affection.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you got left to do? Is there anything that you want with Harris or with Lord Pierce? Right now.
Nothing with Lord Pierce. I think we basically just did with Harris there what we're gonna do next. I mean, the only stuff that she would do with Harris is be like, "Hey, boo, you okay?"
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that they can certainly share a scene where you're just kind of looking after him. I mean, he's fine.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, it's more of like, so you got pretty pissed off in the tent there earlier. Everything okay? She's doing her sort of.
I mean, in terms of a role, in terms of like an action, what would you like to do? The kind of options, I guess, are like empathy to try and get a feeling of what's going on, or just seduce and go for it.
Honestly, I think that is like Miria's flirting, right? Like she can't flirt, so she just points out stuff that he does in a kind of like semi-joking, taunting way, being like, "Hey, so you got pissed off earlier? Everything good?" That's her type of flirting. So let's do a seduce. Let's do it.
All right.
It's about time.
All right, make me a persuasion. Seduce. Obviously, I'm holding you to persuasion means that you are truthful in your feelings as opposed to deception where you're stringing somebody along. Okay.
Yeah, God knows.
I just like to lay that. I like to lay out my stall, but when it comes to seduction, that's all.
Yeah.
Where's his stupid stats? There he is, hairy balls.
I actually have a bonus dice in seduce. Why the fuck did I put that in there for Miria?
Back in the day, maybe.
Yeah. I think I actually did this when she turned 18 because I was like, maybe she's gonna put some more like tools in the persuasion kit. All right. Let's use a bonus
got a bad
die.
intrigue defense for a fighter.
He's a good lad.
He's a good lad, yeah.
There's worse people to hitch your cart to. All right. It's gonna be 19. That's actually pretty low, but 3 6s.
Oh, fucking hell. All right.
She really likes him.
Susie, how do we get that Hollywood soft kind of kiss moment? How do we get that moment?
I don't know. Oh shit. How do we get this moment?
So she was like, no, you got pretty pissed off earlier, huh? What? And they've given you like 110. I mean, I think that's the thing, right? Maybe there's an awkward kind of like, he's like, I normally get undressed to go to bed. Oh, okay. And so he's just kind of like turned his back and he's just kind of like taking, his doublet off and like, he's kind of like,
Oh, okay. So, all right. So he's like awkwardly getting undressed, right?
Yeah.
And Miria's like, don't feel like I have to turn around on my account, like joking, like, because she spent some time in Dawn, when she was Kala. I think like he has this thing, and Miria's kind of taken off all her armor and her silks, and she's just got like, it's just some like plain shift underneath. And I think she's poking fun at him for being shy, and then he turns around and they have that moment where she's about to like carry on laughing, but she sees his face, he sees her face, and then they just sort of just smooch.
Yeah.
They have that moment of hesitation, but then the dam just breaks and it's smooch time.
Nice.
Like they're both holding it off, and then bam.
All right. Okay. Bam,
Punched in the
passionate.
face by lust.
Yeah. Okay. Bam, passionate lust rather than like soft, slow, romantic.
They'll have
comedy
time
kiss.
for that later.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Bam.
I'll write that up properly later, folks. You'll get a proper romantic scene later on.
It's all right.
Can that be the title of the fiction?
Bam.
Bam.
Yeah.
Enzo.
Aye.
Tom, I want to check in with you. I want to make sure you've got anything you want to do here at Highgarden done in the kind of very short term.
Basically, I want to. Essentially, the job is drop off Bryn, make sure it's safe. If at any point I feel that it's not safe in Highgarden, plans might change. If there are any cranes here, I would like to know. If not, I would like to send a raven to the crane house, explaining to them what happened with Marcia.
Yeah.
Ideally, I prefer to do it in person, but hey, there's none there, then a raven will have to do.
Lord Yoan Crane is here.
Okay, cool. What relation is he to Marcia? Do you know?
Dad.
Oh, it's his dad. Okay, this is going to be awkward. Okay. Oof. Oh, actually, it might help. Okay. I've got an idea. Well, not really. So, yes. So, first things first, I would very much like to go to Lady Elena.
Mm-hmm.
And talk to her and say, hey, this is Bryn, Lord Greenmont. I was able to get him out because of Lady Marcia's request to do it. Get him to safety. Is Highgarden safe, essentially? Will Highgarden be safe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Essentially, he's gonna
You are escorted. Oh, thank you very much for the raid. We're going to be finishing up slowly, but welcome in. Welcome in. You are escorted to what would be Lord Leo's solar, his office, and you are let inside. And there's a kind of buzz about the corridor and about High Garden. As you walk inside, you see Lady Elenia at the top, standing behind the kind of council table that they would normally use. Next to her, just on the other side of, just one of the side of the table, is Sir Gawain Oakhart, who is, Lord Steward here, obviously, so he's giving a lot of help and is doing most of the kind of admin and protection type stuff. But you also, interestingly, see Lady Casella standing just next to Lady Elenia.
Oh, that's a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Definitely going to smile after seeing her.
She is here.
So he'll enter, and I'd like to think the Bryn is kind of beside him with Wraith there, and he'll kind of enter in, do a flourish and bow as he normally does, and Lord, ladies, forgive me for interrupting you in war matters, but I bring someone very important to you and important news from Fox Hollow.
Lady Elenia invites you. Please, sit down.
And he'll kind of sit down, and he'll kind of gesture Lord Bryn to sit near him, and he'll thank you. As I'm sure you were already aware, I bring his Lordship of Greenmont, Lord Bryn, with me. We were able to escape the siege that is currently happening at Fox Hollow. As I left, Greenmont forces had engaged Karen forces, who are currently besieging in attempt to... I'm not a general or a soldier, so I do not know, but they were engaged. In the confusion, I was able, and Lady Marcia's request, I was able to get her son and Lord Greenmont out safely. She requested that I bring him here in hopes to find safer shores for his lordship and to maintain and ensure that House Greenmont lives on.
Lady Casella speaks, and she says, "Thank you, sir, and welcome, Lord Bryn. I myself have only just been freed from Lord Tarley's capture."
I had been told that you had been captured. Forgive me, could you tell me any news from Horn Hill? Who is captured, who maybe still be alive? I do not know. When it all started, I was able to get away before the unpleasantness.
We were fortunate enough that my Lord Husband, Lord Leo Tyrell, and Lord Hightower weren't murdered but captured. But the Tarleys were putting men to the sword, and so unfortunately Lord Ellery Peake is dead.
Oh.
And it is understood, at least commonly, that his line dies with him.
I see. And he kind of talks to himself like what will happen? Well, that is most unfortunate. I knew Lord Peake. He was a good man. He deserved better. In fact, I think a lot of people that night deserved better. I'm good that you were able to, least survive and get away.
Lady Elenia says, we are very fortunate for her release, but it has cost us.
One more thing. In regards to that, did you happen to... how is Lady Rowan? Was she well?
Yes, she was well.
That's good. That is very good. Thank you. But back to the matter at hand. I wish, if Lord Bryn is willing, for him to join you here, if you believe it is safe. I would need your assurances that it is safe here.
This is the safest place in the Reach, sir, currently, from what I hear. It's just a shame, my lord, that your men can't join us here and to rally at Highgarden as we have called the banners and they have begun to arrive. Of course, we are expecting His Grace Prince Baelor.
I see. Well, Bryn, I suppose this is the safest place you can get in Westeros at this moment.
Highgarden has high walls and deep cellars, and we can withstand a siege. It's very fortunate that you've been able to meet here, and we will look after you as best we can, little Lord Bryn.
He'll smile at Bryn, and he'll ask, what do you think of that? Do you accept this lovely lady's offer to help you?
Lady Casella is actually quite sweet. She kind of goes up to Bryn and explains that my son, little Lord Peter, did not join me. He is still with the Tarleys. They're still keeping him as a ward with his father. And so you'll be most welcome in my court. Would you like to spend some time with me? You can use his chambers while he is away. And she offers him, nice hospitality, basically.
I like to think he says yes.
Sure. Sorry, yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's good. And he'll smile at Bryn and nod a little head. Well, that is good to know. Well, I have done my duty here. I'm sure he will be a great asset to you here. And with both yourselves running Highgarden, I am sure you'll be able to push back anything that would threaten its walls.
Lady Casella takes Lord Bryn out, and Lady Elenia gives her leave. But Sir Gawain stays, and just as you're about to leave, perhaps he stops you and says, "Sir, please wait a moment."
Of course. So, Gawain, is it not?
It is.
Forgive me.
May I ask... It would be rather fortunate for us if you were to stay. Perhaps, particularly when it comes to Old Town or something like that. I've heard of your notoriety. I've heard stories about you. To have such a well-commanding naval officer, he's trying to be really polite about it, to remain loyal to the crown, work for us here at Highgarden.
I appreciate the offer, I do. And I hold no animosity to yourself or any of the Targaryens, the loyalists. But I do not take sides in such things. I am not of Westeros. I may not even be in Westeros much longer. And I have a few personal matters that I have to attend to. I am not an admiral. I am not a soldier. I'm not a general. I know what I am. I am a pirate. And I don't think a pirate will be very good for you during this war, I'm afraid.
From what I understand, pirates can get places, smuggle things,
Yes.
get messages out.
It would depend on the message and where you would want it to go.
I must admit, sir, I don't have any singular, particular agenda. But your presence here, your expertise, it would be sorely missed if you were to leave.
I understand. But I do have a singular agenda. And I do have a job that I have to do. So I do apologize. But I must do what I must do. Be well, Sir Gawain. And I hope that I will see you at the end of all of these.
And you,
He'll nod his
Captain.
head. And he'll head out. Hopefully find Papa Crane.
Yeah,
very
you can.
quickly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what Marzia wanted me to say, so I can't remember, so I'm going to do a gist of it.
That's right.
So he's gonna go to approach Papa Crane, and essentially he's just going to tell him how the thing's going. That she sees. He's not going to
house is
hide
going.
or sugarcoat it or
Right,
anything.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
basically just going to tell him the facts,
Hmm.
and that he has no idea if Marzia still lives, how the siege is going, but he will say it looks like it wasn't a large force at Fox Hollow.
Hmm.
So maybe if you were able to get a big enough force, you might be able to break it and reinforce it. I think it'd be better coming from him than a pirate at a war table.
Fair enough. Just note that down. Cool. Okay.
And then after that, he will gather some supplies, gather his cadre, and make his way to the Rose Road.
All
in
right.
search of a butcher.
You heading northeast or
Yeah,
southwest?
wherever the Rose Road is.
High Garden is slap bang in the middle, basically. You head
Oh,
southwest, you go to Old Town.
bollocks.
If you head northeast, you go to the Rose Road.
Oh,
So you go towards,
the
King's
message
Landing.
didn't have a map, did it? It just said Rose Road. Oh, man. Okay. I think oh, fuck. Which way would it be? You know what? I'm gonna do what Enzo does. He's gonna go in the direction where it's the safest. So he's probably gonna head north.
Okay, cool.
He's gonna head north and see if he can find him there.
No problem. Well, folks, that is where we'll wrap up tonight's session. Not a big old cliffhanger, but we had some little juicy, fruity moments. It's all very nice indeed. Thank you very much. Then let's go around, have a little chat. Let us know where we can find you on the internet as well, as we can prime us for next week and more juicy fruits. Who we got on the overlay first? Susie. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. Miriam finally got her smooch. Took 6 seasons, but it happened. Yay! Yeah, I think we could have gone for a soft, gentle, romantic moment, but I think right then and there, with everything that's been happening and all that, just was the play, was the mood. But So I did. So at the beginning of this episode, Miria was yet again a prisoner, and we did our secret session on Saturday, where we determined this, and I counted it up throughout all 6 seasons how many times Miria has been captured, and this would be the 6th. She's been captured
Literally once a season. One for every season.
Sorry. I'll stop
No,
now.
I mean, no, to be fair,
You
like she keeps
surrendered.
I did surrender because I didn't want to cut my way through the Karen forces because it would have been a bad time for everybody.
Yeah.
So Lady Miria von Stockholm, thanks, Millie. Because it is 6, because I absolutely am counting being a ward at Summerhall as being a prisoner, because you are a prisoner.
Yeah, that's
like,
what that
a gilded
is.
cage is still a cage,
Yeah.
right?
No, that's what that is. Yeah.
I'm real glad that Uncle EB did bust me out of Summerhall, though, because if he hadn't and I was still there, I would be barbecue right now, probably.
Yeah, probably.
There would have been no smooch. It would have been barbecue. So yeah.
Come on, babe.
So looking forward to Miria racing across east to try and catch up the Tallies and maybe get some boys, and then dying to Uncle Makar.
Yeah.
She's had a smooch. That's it now. She's going to die. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. But hi, everybody. I am Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace, variety streamer. I do video games. I do art streams sometimes when I can. And then I also do tabletop RPGs like what I did here today on this very channel. You can catch me all over the internet at Susanna Grace. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, which I don't use, or anything like that. Instagram, I'm posting at the minute on my Twitter and Instagram, I'm posting works in progress of my Miria portrait, which I'm slowly working on
so
at
cool.
nighttime, which I'm very happy with. You'll next see me on my channel tomorrow, maybe, if I've got time, because I might have to work. I don't know. And then Wednesday, all things being well, I'll be back here for Hexcrawl, which is our spy game campaign, which is the game that we did make with Black Cats Gaming, of which I'm also a part of. So join me on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern when I play the hacker medic Athrena, who got tased last time, which wasn't fun.
At least you didn't get a drone embedded in your head and...
No, that's true, because that would have killed me.
We determined, yeah.
Yeah, with my 26 HP that I have at level 8.
Good times. Thanks, Susie.
I'm good. I'm done. Thanks. Bye.
And Millie, what have you been up to that you can tell us about? Nothing.
Oh, hello. Almost nothing. No, it's same old, same old. You know my job. But on Mondays, I'm over on the Wandering Inn playing Nomi, the socially awkward, weirdly bendy, apparently, botanist in our sci-fi show Drifting. So come see some of that sometime, maybe. It's good fun.
Nice.
Tonight was the thing. That was the thing. Fuck you, Samuel Tarley. How dare you? Not only having to look after her, my dress is ruined again.
You guys nearly died. That's what you're bothered about?
Yes. I don't care. I think she made her feelings about dying right now pretty clear a couple of episodes ago. She's kind of like, if I must, but I'm not going out like that. I'm not going out looking after her. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was great though. That was great. I think we know each other a little too well now, though. It's the weirdest girly bonding. I've seen the inside of your wrist.
You know?
Yeah, you've seen me in my underwear. I've seen the inside of your arm. That's how friends are made, right?
I've got the making of a buddy cop drama that I am absolutely shipping now.
Oh God.
No, it's not even a buddy cop drama. It's just the two of them going and saving Samuel from himself constantly.
Should have finished her off.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity.
She wanted to. I wanted her to so badly at several points during that. I wanted to just shank her. But
Do
alas,
you know what
she made a
Millie,
promise, and Faye takes
You had the
promises
perfect
really
opportunity
seriously.
with the bow. Whoops,
I
not very
know.
good at archery.
Oh, what I wanted to do was just let the tension of the string go and watch it happen. But alas, Faye, she takes her promises stupidly seriously. But now Mara's got some really couture new bandages, so that's fun for her.
They're very pretty.
Thanks.
Oh my God.
I
Even
liked
soaked in
them.
blood.
Yeah, the other half of the dress has got your nearly dead husband on it, so make do and mend.
Oh my God. Tom, save us.
I think the dice were on one tonight, personally.
Yeah.
They were after blood tonight, I think.
Yeah,
It was the
they had lots of
extremes
sixes.
Yeah, extremes of both sides. You had lots of sixes, I had lots of ones.
Yeah.
You know, they were just a bit angry tonight.
A bit angry.
Just a bit angry.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It
That's
was a fun
fair.
night,
That's fair.
you know. But yeah, it was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. You
Good.
know, I mean, hopefully, you know, Mara and Faye will realize why now a lot of people go places with a guard escort. I mean, you know, particularly because you're noble and you can have that. Maybe that's a good idea.
I had one. I used it as a messenger for a small child. I don't make good decisions.
Mara has one, but she was in too much of a panic to think to rally them to come with her.
See, that's it, right? It was full-blown panic. I just got to get to them, and then, well, she hasn't got
Womp womp.
a hand is hanging on by a thread. So yeah, but yeah, apart from that, and of course, 6 seasons of waiting, Miria got a smooch. Overall, it is great. That's the main take I feel from this. Not the almost deaths or anything like that. Miria smooched. I'm just gonna leave it with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Doing anything?
Am I doing anything? Not really. No. Oh, I play Phasmo with Susie and Millie on Tuesdays on Susie's channel.
Nice.
That's about it, really. That's about it. Sometimes we play stuff on Friday if it's like Back for Blood and stuff, right?
I think it depends if it's work. It depends if you're working, right?
Yeah, it depends. But that's about it. I don't really do anything. You can check me out on Twitter with Hotface Tom. That's about it. I don't do much.
Food crimes, Tom. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. Thank you very much. And V. I nearly got you.
Nearly.
Got you.
I was very lucky looking through my sheet, just being like, what else have I got? I was like, oh, I do have a destiny point. I looked in the wrong place. Okay, I've got one more.
Good.
But that was fun. I've been waiting so long for Mara to like properly use her intimidate. I've been building it up. That's where all my XP's been going.
Yeah.
It's just like, because I've been hinting for ages that she has these very much like after not dying, has very much lost her fear of death and has some very odd beliefs about why she didn't die. So this was fun. And also I was like, it's fitting, you know, that Samwell's option is his intrigue move is go to combat, and Mara's is the opposite of that. But you know, if she was going to die there, she was going to die telling this dude that he was wasting his time and she doesn't give a shit. Like, she was going to go out like that.
That's a good move.
It's I like to imagine that her and Faye at some point have 5 minutes of going, so that was pretty cool, right? Like, we won that, and then immediately go back to being awkward.
I'm shipping more of this buddy cop drama. I'm just telling you now.
It's 5 minutes when the both of them like go and have a drink, and they're like, okay, that was
5 minutes of chill, and then they go back to hating each other. Got it.
Although I don't know, Mara might be annoyingly grateful now.
I would be.
She's just but it's okay. She is also pissed at Samwell for making Faye promise to look after her. So good luck to him when he eventually wakes up and has to deal with the both of them going, you said what?
It was a cool thing at the beginning. I think it was good. It was good fun.
This is fun. I don't know how wounds work. Sam, you're gonna have to explain to me afterwards what any of that means.
You're now just you're screwed. You take a penalty dice to every test now.
Sweet.
And you got the stress still.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know how long wounds take to heal. I don't have to do combat in this game ever. Oh, okay. That's.
You better hope you've got a good healer as well, because they could kill you.
Oh yeah, they could get worse.
Yeah. Well, you know, if that happens, then I'm blaming Don because he's the one that decided who the healers were in the camp. So that's on Samwell to sort that out. No, this was fun. Thank you for trying to spear me with Heartsbane, Sam.
It's all right. It's what I'm here for.
We all know that prophecies only accidentally come true. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't make them come true. You have to forget you did them and then make them come true.
Yeah. Like in an unrelated kind of planning way. Yeah. Are you streaming much?
I haven't been recently because I've been in work crunch and life stress, but I'm hoping tomorrow I will maybe shoot some things.
Nice.
Maybe, or something. I don't know. I'll be somewhere on my Twitch channel doing something that might be vaguely interesting.
Cool.
But otherwise, I'm just around working. So if you need some of your TTRPG projects next year,
oh yeah,
my
check
Q1
it out.
schedule is opening up. So
There you go. Deets on the Twitters, I guess.
Yeah, all the deets on the
Check it
Twitters.
out. Nice one. All right. As for us, we are Black Cats Gaming. You can find us around the internet at Follow Black Cats. We made the Spy game, which we're playing on Wednesday, and we play After the Fire every Thursday here on the channel. You can grab the Spy game and all of our games, all our little one-shots and one-pages and all that kind of cool stuff around the internet. You can either go to our shop, blackcatsgamingshop.com, or you can head over to, we've got stuff on the DMs Guild. We also have stuff on Drive to RPG as well, obviously. And if you want to support your local store, the Spy game is right there too. So if you fancy like a modern 5e action espionage thing, please do check it out. It is not that expensive for a core book, and it's chock full of everything you need to play. If you wanted to check out the game before you bought it, like I said, we're playing on Wednesday. That's 7 p.m. UK time for Hexcrawl, and then we're playing After the Fire again next week. We've got to work out some kind of downtime turn, because I think one's due now. Susie's on the move. Tom's on the move. You're all kind of on the move. So let's figure out if and when we can do that, or we do it next week. We'll figure something out. We'll let you know as well. All right, who have we got to raid? Some people. Let's go and see Mark Humes. He is just chatting. And if anything is to go by yesterday's stream, she may look fucking gorgeous as well. The little thumbnail is looking promising, friends. So go and say hi from us, particularly. Go and show some love, and all of that good stuff. Thank you for joining us. We will catch you next week. Until then, take care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye, everybody.